All right, we are live from New York. It's Saturday night. It's Archer's Saturday night. It's not the Saturday Night Live, right? Which is like now the woke, Satanist Saturday Night Live with a bunch of prostitutes that are trying to hawk their brand of twisted living on everybody. Oh, did I just say that? Oh, that's terrible, Arch. You just said some bad thing. Well, I thought, when I was younger, Saturday Night Live was kind of cool. I could take this off for a minute. It was kind of cool, but more recently, they're pushing their special brand of Satanism on everybody. This woke nonsense that, my favorite, the phrases that I like today is her penis and his vagina. Just think about that, right? Is the world not tweaked? When you do a reach around and for your lady and you think it's your lady that, hey, you meet this it's late, right? You're in a bar, right? Maybe you got a few, how many beers? Remember we used to rate, I know it's ladies, this is a secret if a girl ever watches this, but they know, right? We used to rate chicks and how many beers it would take before you would date them. Now, how many beers does it take before you will hang out and fool around with he, him, her, she? Oh! No. I hope everybody had a good week, and I've been busy. I'm sure you fellas have too. Been pretty crazy around here. Been having a good time. So, he, him, them, right? I said to somebody the other day, I was like, my pronouns are thus and thou, right? And I think she said something like, that's like a crappy Shakespeare thing. And I'm like, well, yeah, I kind of did minor in that. So those are my pronouns, right? Guy, that's, I don't get it. I just had to come off with that. I don't even know what kind of really brought me to that, but you just get so sick of hearing some of this stuff, and people are finally starting to fight back. Bud Light, I said. You remember if you guys remember the Jerky Boys, right? They even came out with a crappy movie. It was really crappy, but I think I still have some Jerky Boy tapes from back in the day, right? Because they would do the phone crank conversation stuff, and they would try to get people, would call people on the phone, prank the phone, and they got real popular because that stuff all got spread around. I think they were from New Jersey or somewhere, maybe in New York, and they eventually kind of came out with a movie, and that took a long time. What's up, Backwoods, Jamie, anybody else that's out there? And then they did a Bud Light commercial. And the phrase was, Bud Light, I said, at the end, right? Wow, we've come a long way from the Jerky Boys to some princess guy, on the can of a beer, right? Her, they, them face. This is a good evening, everyone. Yeah. So that's my, that's it. That's my poke, I guess. I don't know. I'll probably come up with something else too, because it just annoys me. It's not like something that when I was younger, they were gay people and everything. I know people like that and family members. It is totally not that at all. And I don't understand why those people, they're actually starting to get mad, the feminists are getting mad. They get mad because this is just another way to kind of dehumanize people and remove your dignity, and your whatever you were born with, and just remove things that you were born with. Oh my God, I have to be careful with what I say. So, been hanging out a little bit today, working on some stuff. Took it a little bit easy. It's been raining all day, which is kind of nice because rain makes the grass look greener. It makes it grow, and that's kind of good for business, isn't it? So I'm excited about that because, we definitely need more green grass. Let me get comfortable here, kind of get settled in, and that'll clog up the lawnmowers. And then people can bring me their lawnmowers and I can fix them and I can sell more. And be like, here, I have another lawnmower for you. It's for a little bit more than the price of a tune-up. You get to have lawnmower. So what's everybody up to tonight? See what you guys are up to. I'm going to play some videos here and there, but don't be afraid to interrupt, right? Just interrupt it. I'll go in any direction, but what I'll usually do is I just let the video go until either it's over because it might be over, or I'll get to a normal break and then I'll pause it and chime in and go down that road. A couple of things, right, I wanted to start off with. Mikey was here, so I'm going to play a little bit of clip with Mikey. Showed up with a whole bunch of cool stuff and his cool truck. One of his cool trucks, he's got the Ford and the other Ford. One of them is really cool. It's got a diesel in it, which he runs on used oil. This thing is gorgeous too. He only wants to use it to take his like race car stuff to the track. It's got I think you guys might have seen it. I ran it on the live, I don't know, a bunch of months ago. And he's got the 4-inch stack, 5-inch stack, whatever it is, 6-inch stack coming out in the bed, like in the middle towards the cab. This thing's beautiful. It's got the dualies and everything. He completely went over that truck like that. I don't know which one is his baby. I think they're both his babies, but this one he took apart. It was a mess when he got it. I think eventually I'll put together some pics of it from him, and I'll just run it quick on a live because it really came out nice. It's like a maroon red ish, you know. So I wanted to show you guys that, and to kind of start off, I should be live. Everybody should be hearing me. There shouldn't be any echo. So what was it? Last weekend or the weekend before? I think it was Mother's Day weekend. Was that last weekend? I don't remember now. All right. So it was like Sunday. So it was really busy Saturday. And it's like Sunday, you know, a couple of things going on. Nothing really because I'm not a mom currently. And so Christina was doing some stuff with her mom. And at some point I kind of got done, I don't know, I guess about 3, 4, I was doing some stuff. So I went outside to go hang out in the yard, right, and get a little sun, just chill out. It was really nice out. Beautiful blue sky all day, right? So I'm sitting there for about a half hour, and then this. So let me show you guys, right? I'll bring up, let's see, how do I bring up this monitor? Let me make sure I get this right. All right, there's that monitor. Yeah, there we go. Shove this over to here. Okay, put my ugly butt. Where is my, oh, we got to change that. Hold on. How is that still doing that? Hold on. I got to bring up something. Turn that off. Turn it back on again. No, turn that off. Hold on. We'll come back to me for a minute. Let me, I was working on something. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys too, in a little bit, is I'm working on a chainsaw today. And let's see, this should be back to DVE, pattern, DVE. And if I press that, wow, why is it doing that? Yeah, it shouldn't really be doing that. Which it's interesting because it really shouldn't be doing that. All right, there's split screen. Okay. And let me go to live scene setup. All right, so you can see the split screen. So I had one camera aimed one way and one camera aimed the other way. And I shouldn't be seeing that right now. Right now it should come off. Oh, wow, it changed the size of the picture-in-picture. Yeah, that's weird. How did it remember that? So that's something I wanted to fool around with, but I want to show you some of what I recorded. Yeah, that's weird. Should it be Zippo? Hey, Zippo! I went off on a cashier when I kindly and respectfully thanked her as she handed me my receipt. And she said, listen, you cisgender man. Yes, that's what they call us now. Let me shut that off. That's what cisgender is like breeding mama, right? Breeding or a feeder. They call women that are breastfeeding feeders or something feeder, right? Like, it's obviously, it's not just a matter of that they want like more normalization. They want to take what you have away. And that's really the big problem. It's not that just that they want to fit in more like a part of a group. Like, I never met any gay person that ever said it, or even like some of the, like, there were a couple like feminists that were a little out of hand. And I remember they were called feminazis for a little while, right? Because they were just getting too out of hand, and that sort of faded away. Maybe this will fade away because it's the kind of thing that, like, why would you want to aggravate people that you're trying to? The thing is, they don't want to be in with everybody else. They just want their thing, and that's the end of it. You know, which is bizarre. So yeah, let me show you this now. Let me go to this. So I'm hanging out, right? And the next thing I know, let's see if I get the sequence right. Next thing I know, all right, I'm starting to look at this crap, right? That's like, what the hell is this?
Ross.
Right, so I'm like poking around. I'm like, oh, lovely, right?
And we got one there.
Look at that, another one. Oh my.
Let's see if you can zoom in.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see, like, it's getting, like, real fuzzy in the air. This was a crystal blue, beautiful sky. The camera would pick that up, too. And it just starts turning to this crap. Right? That is not a... I can't even say the word, because if I say the word, right, I'll get a flag.
And they just started.
And I'm like, no, I've actually... I don't get it. I've even worked in the aviation industry, and you just don't see stuff like this. Here's another one.
That's the guy that...
Now that little one over there, that little one, that looks more like the seat trail, okay? But these big ones, no. See, I'll back up a little bit.
Starts all the way back there.
See if we can see that. I was going to record one.
He's there. That's the guy.
I got to pause it. Because I saw one. See that little one on the left right here? That is more indicative of what you might find as a normal event, right? I have to be careful with what I say. Oh, isn't that pretty? I found one where you see them sometimes they it's like they run out and it disappears and then it comes back. And I've heard all of the explanations. I don't know if you can see it, but you know, the blue sky. Water vapor doesn't turn the sky into this hazy mist. It becomes hazy.
So much for the blue sky.
It's just miserable. And then the next couple of days,
like 5 minutes later,
especially the next day, there was a nice one. There's this white crap everywhere. It's in the house. It's all in the shop.
So these are the lilacs on Mother's Day. And they're dead already.
Headphones on.
And last year I got nothing out of this tree, which is a walnut. And then there's a big walnut there. Got nothing out of it. They never made fruit. See?
And that's the other thing, right? You see these?
Dead.
That's a Rose of Sharon. But these here,
made fruit.
That walnut tree never made any fruit. I have 2 walnut trees. I have one that is old. It's been here before I was here. It's black walnut. And I have a baby. And it's a fairly decent sized tree. It came from one of the walnuts, I guess, you know. And so that's a younger one. And last year, they got the little dangly stick type things that come down off the tree. They usually break away after the fruit drops. And they're like the size of tennis balls. Golf balls and tennis balls, green, all over the lawn. You got to crush them up. You can pick them. You can still eat them. Between both trees, I didn't get one. This year, the lilacs did not really come in. They're just lackluster. I understand that, like, Mother's Day, I think, was a week late. But it doesn't matter, right? There should be lilacs all over the place. No, they came real early, and they were very weak. There wasn't that many of them, and they died very quickly. And the other thing I noticed, too, is that I grow, on my lawn, it's not all weeds, but I do like to grow clover. And I like it for the bees, you know, and it looks pretty, you know, and it fixes nitrogen into the soil, into the lawn, and it makes those areas nice and green, and it doesn't crowd anything out. And I'm not really seeing it this year. Like, they're trying to do something, but I'm not really seeing it. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. Hopefully, this stuff that is going to wash away. It was all in here. It's on all of the tables. It's in the house. You know what? I hope I'm wrong, okay? But, you know, I suspect from the stuff that I've been following for years, they're up to something, okay? I've seen the videos on the dimming and everything. I understand. I don't have it right here, but I can show you. I was going to do a separate video on it. I can actually show you from one of the Texas State Commission. It's kind of like motor vehicles, but it's for commerce. and it's a licensing board. And I have it. I just didn't prepare for it. You go on to their website, and you have to get a license from. They have a whole list of things that you need a license for, from hairdresser to contractor to whatever. And they're running a program. They were running a program on weather modification. Okay. And they give you a little brief description of it, and you can join up. And there was some funding from the state and the federal government and from other, I guess, NGOs that have put some money into this fund, and it's since dried up. And they even tell you things like you can, if you're a farmer, right, and you want a little bit more rain to come down on your property, you might want to sign up for this, and you can, get licensed to do this over your property. Oh, lovely. Yeah, great. Let me see what Zippo says. Oh, God. Let's see. I've got neighbors with hives, so I've been letting my clover-riddled lawn grow. Hives? What's hives? A bit longer so I can reap the rewards of the awesome clover honey my neighbors. Oh, beehives. Yes, absolutely. So that's what Zip says. Yeah, and I was thinking about that too at some point, but now I'm not sure if I want to do that. I mean, I don't have a big piece of property, but there's enough. But I just don't have the time. It's like one more thing to learn how to do. But yeah, clover honey is wonderful. We know we do have an issue with bees, and I'll tell you this, like I had hornets when I first moved in, and they'll come after you. We get mud wasps, but they don't really bother me. Zippo says, yes, they get too well. That's nice. Too well established hives. Yeah, it's hard to establish a hive. It is a science and an art, and loving care, right? But what I notice is with having the clover around and all the bees, like I like to walk around barefoot whenever possible. And I just try not to step on them. But what I noticed is that when the clover's out, they don't care about you. Okay, they have no interest in stinging you. They don't bother you. Even the yellow jacks, like they just come around, they kind of like hang out, see what you're up to. I don't really swat them. I just go like this, and they kind of get the message and they leave. They're very docile. Even the big wasps and stuff, like they really could be give shit less. Just let clover grow, and they're just not interested in you. I also have, the one thing I do have is the big, I think they're big like carpenter bees. That's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I'm getting rot and holes, and we had wood boring worms and stuff. I think they're called powder post beetles, which is very common up here. This building basically fell down, and I had to rebuild it because it was rotted, mostly from powder post beetles. Up north here, of course, many of you guys might know, there's that, is it not the Japanese beetle, it's some other beetle that ate most of the forests all along the Appalachian Trail. And they went after the walnuts. So I like having these two black walnuts, but, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if there's some kind of hormone in this stuff, that is the only thing I could think of that would affect the ability for something like that to produce a fruit. That for the walnut is its flower. For the lilac, well, it needs to be propagated by having its flowers pollinated. And this was the first year that I ever seen it this week. And I had beautiful lilacs all along one side, and they kind of got killed by the dogs I had for a while, and my daughter when she was young. And they were almost done, and I've been working on trying to build them back up again. And this year they don't look good at all. They're green, but that's it. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. Let me move that. Hold on. Let me move this out of the way.
This tree, which is a walnut.
That's a walnut.
And there's a big walnut there. Got nothing out of it. They never made fruit.
Yeah, see?
See?
And that's what happens to them right away.
Just dead.
There's like nothing on it. What's up, DJ? All right, let me move this out of off of the screen. So I wanted to show you guys what Mikey and I were doing. Let me cue that up. This is be back in a few minutes, Arch. Lurking in the background. No problem. Stop in and out whenever you want. I'm going to be, in a little while, we're going to be doing some work on the tractor. And I actually mentioned you like a couple of times. I'm like, oh, Zippo's probably going to be yelling in the background because of what I'm doing. And, you know, oh, I had so much fun last week just fooling around with the tractor. It was just a lot of fun. I did get some more stuff done. I changed the implements on it. But Mikey was here, so let me find Mikey's. Yeah, I just love the Sunstars. Wait till you see how bad my deck is, though. Hopefully you'll catch that and you'll come back. It is a tank, but my deck is a mess. There's so many holes in it. I'll see you in a bit. But yeah, fellas, there's so many holes in this deck. So let me see. Let me just take a poke real quick. I wanted to see what happened when I do that. Yeah, I got to figure out why it's doing that. But let me show you, fellas. See what you guys think about this. Let me bring it up real quick. Switch over to this. So the idea here was I was playing around with picture-in-picture, and some of you guys may remember I've been fooling around with that. And then I did a bunch of videos with a kind of a split screen, but I don't really know what I'm really doing yet because I'm still learning how to do this. So I had the saw up on the table, and I wanted to kind of go over the saw. So let me just find an example of it. Yeah, here we go. Here's one. This hose in here just to give it a push upwards. Let me cue it up. It's on there tight. Let's see what you guys think. Let me turn the volume down on it too. Let's see. There's the volume. There's the volume. All right, so this is the two views. Now, I'd like to move the camera from the left side of the screen over to the right. So let me run this quick clip. I'm putting it down the hose. Yeah, it's like almost like two hoses. All right. Seems like it's okay. But if I have a problem, I'm coming back to that. I'm not sure what the hell's going on with that, but like I said, if I have a problem, yep,
skip forward a little bit.
And then with pliers back. Just got to push it on all the way. The idea... Then we got this guy, and we have to pull it back a little bit. So put the saw back together, as you can see. It did the carburetor. The saw works great. So that's going to be coming out. Yeah. The idea... A bit more room. Is to find a way to... How do I put this? Is to find a way to get the shots that I need without having to rehearse it, retake it, have my hand in the way... Just to try to find a way to minimize all those issues. And also, the final thing is the edit. Let's see. When I have to edit something like with a multi-camera, typically without like a video switcher, it's a pain in the neck. I have to match the two videos together. I have to watch them on my software. I have to see what's going on. And then I set it up for like, it's like a switch. I'll be watching the video and I'll be looking at the two shots and I'm like, okay, this is a better shot. And I hit that number. And then you have to hit that number for, let's say, camera 2, and you have to hit it at the right time. And if you don't hit it, then you have to stop it, pause it, back it up to where you want it, then switch the camera. Then you let it go and you still have to be watching the other view. And you're like, oh, wait, I like this view better. And you can toggle back and forth, but that's not a split screen. The idea with a split screen is that it's more likely that the person watching it will be able to catch a view that they can use. And I don't have to completely pay attention to that. So if my hand goes over something as I'm holding it, and people have said to me, Arch, I can't see it, your hand's in the way. I mean, we get that a lot. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of views that it's very hard to show when you're working on something if you're not outfitted with a complete, like, studio, portable studio, and you have an editor, and you have a producer, and you have the director guy, and you have a bunch of camera people, and you have, first camera grip, and, you got all these people going, all right, cut, you got to do that over. No, right? This is one shot only, and I still got to make money on this stuff because I'm selling it or doing repairs, and I'm trying to, video it. So that's what I thought. I'll try this a bunch of different ways. What I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the camera that's angled to the left, I'm going to move it over and angle it from the right in. For whatever reason, I think I hold things more with my left hand, and then it blocks what you're seeing. And I think I tend to, because I'm a righty, I think I tend to, screw and do all of this and the touchy-feely with my right. So I'm supporting with my left. That tends to block the camera view. Over the shoulder, that's still a problem, because if you're standing up to do something, you have the problem because you have to get a really strong camera stand to be able to get up over the shoulder and look down. And I think the third thing or fourth thing I'll probably do in the future is if I can ever get caught up with my finances, I will buy a small camera to put on my hat, and I can kind of bring that feed in as a real point of view and work that in over time and say, all right, I think I like this shot better. So it's just mostly for the bench work. And for the one stand that I have, it's only capable right now of supporting the smaller camera without all the gear on it. In the future, I'll get a much better stand. It's called a C stand. They're expensive. They're like super heavy duty stands that can hold up a person. And you can boom them out and do all kinds of cool things with them. And then I can set up cameras at much better angles because they can physically, they get these big twisty clamps that grab onto the bars, and they've got all kinds of attachments, and you can sandbag them. And another thing I might want to try too is making up my own kind of camera stand and welding clamps on them and clamping them to a bench. But the one problem with that is any movement, any banging or any movement of the object that you're working on that's on a bench will transmit right into the camera. And some of you guys may have seen that, where some of us will prop up the camera next to where we're working, and you start moving something and shaking it, and the next thing you know, you're going for a roller coaster ride because you can see it all. So that's why we like to keep the camera away from the work and try to shoot in. If you're clamping it right to your work, you're going to get noise and waviness and vibrations, and it's just why. So let's go to Mikey. I'm going to show you guys what Mikey and I were up to. So Mikey was here the other day, and of course, Mike and I are always working on something, working out something together. He brought over a bunch of machines. I made a bunch of machines for him. I don't think I should have showed you guys what I made for him, but I made a bunch of things for him for trade and a little bit of kit, a little bit of green, right? And helping each other out. So this was just like a spring take. Let me cue this one up. Let's see, where is it?
It does look cool.
Let me pause it. Now this was done on my crappy camera, like a cell phone camera, because I had the other cameras set up on the bench to do the split screen.
It does look cool. I mean, it's a look. Those would be cool. You know what that would be really good for? If it was slammed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, not necessarily slammed all the way down, but tight.
Yeah.
Not like ridiculous slammed, but tighty.
Hi, John.
What's up, Mike?
Hi, John.
Mikey! Yeah.
A lot of them.
Look at this beautiful rig.
It is a rig.
Yeah. All right, we'll get this stuff down now. All right, so here are the two blowers. This
These are nice.
Smaller one.
I think one might be seized.
And this is the badass big one. That's nice. All right, so here's mostly questionable.
Yeah, I think one of them
parts.
might be
We
seized.
got the bags. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags, 7 bags. That bag stays. And so we got all of these.
That's the parts, mostly junk.
Okay. Don't forget that back there, the chipper.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, this is like medium grade.
I didn't get a good look
Pretty
at that.
nice. Already has a bag. That one needs bum wheel, needs wheel. It's rear drive. And it's the medium grade, possible medium grade. Questionable because we just don't know.
This
but we
one's
just put it
weird.
in this pile.
It's
These are
weird.
nicer. All right, so we got the Toro, we got the nice Craftsman, the green old one, but it's in pretty nice shape.
That's nice.
Got the Snapper, which is an oddball. That's a YouTuber, right? This thing's the better one of them all, the Super Recycler.
Look at this thing.
So I've got to come up with a price on that. Aluminum deck. That one is pretty heavy duty with the big bag. And then these two guys, right? These are your common push, depot, big box store. But that one ran. It just smokes, but who knows why it smokes. And that one, I don't know if it runs, but it's got the bigger motor on it. So that's actually kind of neat. That black one. It actually has the flathead on it. And I think that's it. And I think that's good.
Yeah, that's nice. Let me close this out. Bring it over. That snapper is nice. Okay, now in that area where I cleaned up behind the shed in the dead zone, I put a bunch of snappers over there, and I think I showed you guys a couple of weeks back with the lawn boys that are back there and some of the older Toros that are similar to that heavy duty one. I'm coveting that Toro. Okay, I did because he knows, right? Because I always make these dumb comments like I think I'm going to keep that one. He's like, you want to keep everyone, right? Well, yeah, I would keep them all, kind of, if I could afford it and I had enough room. But you can't keep them all. You can't save them all. But that snapper's kind of neat. He said nobody wanted it last year. He did get it together kind of late. It was in nicer shape, and then he left it out because nobody bought it. I don't know if he was asking too much. It is older. Us people, we remember those. And I said, well, that's one of the problems, all right? On YouTube, that there is a contingent of people that will watch somebody like me kind of go over a snapper. I have a couple of snapper videos. They do okay over time, right? I do them because I like them. I had almost nothing but after I killed my last lawn boy, brand new lawn boy when I was really young, I started getting into snappers. And even when I first got to this property, I had a snapper for a bunch of years until I blew all out the side of it because it was really starting to fall apart. I just wouldn't let go. I like snappers, and I'm not saying I'm going to keep it. This is a push. So it's not self-propelled. I think I have a couple of variations of the push. It is older, and us guys remember them, but that's part of the problem is I said, the older folk are going to remember it. They're going to think it's kind of neat, but they're going to be reluctant to buy it because they know it's old. They don't really want an old lawnmower. Unless maybe you could get it nice enough and get the price right. At the end of the year, like if I had it for early in the year, I could leave it up at a reasonable price and somebody would fall in love with it and probably buy it. Just like some of the lawn boys that I do on occasion, right? You get it up early enough in the year, somebody will buy it for the right price. At the end of the year, maybe somebody would buy it because it has a bag and they can scoop up leaves, but it's a push. And that really is undesirable in a lot of ways unless the price is low. Now, that Toro, all right, is the covetous one as well. That one's really cool. That's a really nice heavy-duty mower. There's on those, you guys might remember or know, a lot of the bushings in the wheels, like the bearings in the wheels, have grease points on them. I have a video coming up real soon. The smaller variant of that I just did for Juan. I just finished it, and he has it, and he loves it. And it's aluminum deck. It's just a 21-inch model. The one in the picture here in the video here is a 22-inch, and it's got a huge bag. It's in pretty good shape, and he said it was running. I don't know what motor's on there. That motor's big. Is it? I didn't even look to see if it was a Briggs or whatever, but it looks awfully large. I don't know if it's just all the fairings on it. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I've never had one of those with the aluminum deck. That's how Juan's is. It's got an aluminum deck. You'll see it's coming up soon. But between the snapper and the Toro, I think they're going to be sticking around for a little while. I definitely want to do videos on that. I think it'd be good for the channel, and people, the right people will want to watch it. And will I sell them? I don't know. Maybe I don't have to sell them. All right. Let me queue up. The next thing. Let me see. Where am I? So yeah, getting ready to work on the simplicity. So this was like last weekend. It was like an entire day of me fooling around with this, which I condensed down to like about 30 minutes. But it's such a tank. The deck is so badly Swiss cheesed. It looks like Bonnie and Clyde's car. And I don't know if any of you fellas have ever seen shots of like Bonnie and Clyde's car, like when they shot up the car really bad, and it's like Swiss cheese. They pumped hundreds and hundreds of bullets into this thing. It's just crazy that they did that. But that's what it looks like, and you'll see it. But the rest of the tractor's coming along. I'm getting there. We're going to swap out the huge snow thrower, and I got some tips and tricks, and I think I'll probably release this video as a standalone video in the future as like an in-between kind of filler thing. So you guys are getting the first look. Which is another thing I like to do on the live. And I think it's just kind of fun. Where I am, where Zippo is, and some of the surrounding areas, right? Because he'll drive pretty far for one. They're around. Here, they just are not here. Oh, there's Zippo. Talking about snapper, I've got a 1984 heavy-duty 21-inch with the 2-cycle, whoa, Wisconsin Robin. Really? Is that on your channel, Zip? I remember seeing something like that on your channel. I'm going to have to go and check that out. Yeah, that is nice. Wow. One of my neighbors has one. My friend Liz, like, I think she has one in her yard, or she did have one. It was a smaller engine, though. It was a 2-stroker. It's in a couple of, yeah, because I remember seeing, like, you passed by it, like some of the garage and yard shots and stuff that when you're doing fill-in. Really? Really? Oh, maybe I should. So what size is that engine? My God, Wisconsin. You should take the stupid money for it. You know, stupid money is nice. Let's see, give me a minute to write it up. It can't be that big. Like, if it's 2-cycle and it's small, it could easily be the horsepower of like 5 or 6 horsepower or 7 horsepower, easily, because it's 2-stroke. I wouldn't mind having one of those. Some things I won't sell. But, like, I'm not going to sell the Sunstar because I'm probably the only one here that has it, that I'm aware of. There might be a couple out east. Right, getting pretty far up on the North Ridge or out in Calverton area where you're very far out. Probably not the type that I have, but there might be something out there. So, yeah, all right, what was I going to do next? All right, where is it? Let me go to here. I'll do the cutting deck. Bring you over. All right, I haven't started her in a long time now. It's months because it didn't snow really. So I did clean up in here a little bit. So let's get this thing started. And I'm going to remove most of this. And look at the size of this thing.
So it's going to be a tough start. I should probably prime the carburetor just to help it. You know,
yeah, I'm going to make you head out in the garage.
I've seen people put like push primers.
Zipper says, you're gonna make me head out to the garage, aren't you? The engine is what all the snapper people are wanting. Was offered $800. Oh my God, $800 for the mower. Like I said, stupid money. I totally would want that money. Not that I wouldn't mind having the snapper mower, but you know, because I'm cash poor, so you know, I would definitely want that.
And
that's a nice sale.
Good idea. You know, put a push primer in, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, killing the battery and, you know, taking the battery down and
yeah, he's going. He's going.
Cranking over the engine. Let's see.
Take a pic. Oh, I want to see it.
Choke is on.
Can we share pics on this?
That's the brake is on.
We'll share links.
We're in neutral. I should be able to start. We'll put the choke on a little bit.
Listen, it sounds like a car engine.
More fuel coming up.
Nice. Yeah, definitely email some. Now, hold on a minute. Now, Zip, you had you had mentioned on one of your yard tours, on one of your machines, you had mentioned something about one of your machines had a primer pump or a fuel pump or something that you said made it easier to start on this one of your Sunstars. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Does it ring a bell, or like there was something you said? Because I know some people put like primer bulbs and other things, and there's different things that you can fool around with. Mine is hard to start. It does not suck the fuel up right away. If it sits for like a week or something like that, by the next time I go to use it, it's difficult to start. What's up, Lewis? The proud owner. Hey, look, the proud owner. Oh, commercial break.
Albronzo, a classic with the new intensity.
Look at the size of this thing. Electric fuel pump, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It says he has an electric fuel pump. Turn the key on and let the pump run for a bit to fill the bowl. Oh, that's perfect. Is it like a car pump, or is it like a smaller version of a car pump, like the little electric ceramic pumps that they have out there, or is it like a regular fuel pump for like a car? Does it matter? Because I don't know what the float bowl pressure is. I don't know what the maximum breakaway pressure is on those little float bowls and needles and stuff. I guess maybe 4 psi or something is all you could really handle. But that's what this thing needs, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, about 4 to 7. Yeah, it makes sense.
It's a little dark in here because I never finished the bulb replacements in the shop. We'll get to that. Yeah, when it lifts up, it gets crooked, which is...
Yeah, why is that?
What's doing that? I noticed that with the plow, but, oh, there goes the air compressor. All right, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just disconnect a few of these things up top, which is real easy. Let me show you. Just pull this pin. That's why I did it like this. And then this slides out. And then you can put the pin back. And if you want, you can shove it. I have a toolbox for this thing.
Now, I tried mounting this cable a bunch of different ways when I was setting it up, and it didn't like it. It wanted to be in that sort of shape, that not like an S shape. It needed to be in a gentle curve, and then I lubed everything up. It was all jammed. It was stuck. I think I showed that in one of the videos that I did. But I found that this was the place where I could easily mount it, and it worked properly. It rotates the chute. And I'm like, all right, well, it is what it is. And I'm thinking somebody's going to be yelling at me, you're cutting holes in it. And yeah, well, I can fix holes. Lewis says he loves this thing and thinks it's cool. It is cool. It is cool.
Which is another nice thing. Now that's off. Just scrape it out of the way. And then there's a plug on this side. I just made up this plug. Nice and hot now. See, and it's kept here, captive. We're done here. So with everything basically out of the way, the only thing that's left, you can see down there, there's some tie wraps. We got to cut those. There's an extra rod that it's not really required on this combination machine and implement. Maybe we'll cut that out of the way. I remember when Zippo had something similar, and you went like crazy trying to get all the pins out and everything that it's connected. No, we're not doing that.
I felt your pain,
Zip. On either side, it's just these clips and a pin, right? And we'll just
I remember that episode.
But first, we got to drop it down on a dolly, take some of the pressure off. All right, now that the clevis pins are out, the clevis pins, what's holding it in is actually this trunnion bar here. That's what we'll call it for now, but it's part of the locator. And it's really what holds everything
knocking.
And
hold on.
The next thing we need to do Now this looks a little bit like it's... Tony, knock it! Actually looked a little... Now this won't come off completely until we lower it down more, right? Now, I should have done that first and disconnected it. So that's what I would recommend. Now we've got this pin here. Let me pull this out. I took the hood off because it's just damn easier. There's just no sense. There's a couple of pins. I got it set up. It comes right off. Super easy.
Felt like somebody was knocking on the door, or sometimes the raccoons knock crap around. And they're like, what the hell is that? They run across the roof.
And I'll pull this forward a little, and we're done.
That's how easy it is to deal with this.
All right, now I gotta figure out what I want to do with it. All right, so I pulled it back in. I decided to repin it. You can't see it, but I cut a chamfer on that to make it easier, and I'll probably do the same thing to the other pins. And I had to wire up that stupid bracket. You probably can't see because it falls down, hits the ground, and then you can't align anything. It's in the way, and it cocks the machine. It cocks the implement. We got to cut that off. It's not used here. I'm not sure what it's for, honestly. So there's the dog. He wants to go in, right? All right, I'm gonna move it.
Yeah, he trapped in the house before I started the live stream. Yeah, the dog. Yeah, Mr. Dog.
All right, now I can do a little bit of maintenance.
He's getting
I'm not
old.
gonna change the filter because I don't need to, but I am gonna drop the oil. The oil is pretty new, but I think it's a little thin, and I'll show you what I'm using in a bit. It's nice. It's out of the way.
There's the bracket.
This here, see how it's on that pin because the springs are on it. You probably could take that off.
It's long.
say
it's huge. I don't know, like the whole tractor with the piece in the front. My God! Like when I pull it into the garage, there's room. For sure, but it takes up a good piece of the depth of the garage. Like, you know, if you don't, there's some stuff in front of it, like in the, back of the garage, there is like I think there was some crap in the way. I think the plow is back there and a few other things on dollies. And it comes, so if I pull it all the way in up against that spot where the plow is, it will stop about by the door. And so that's got to be like 10 feet, I guess, something like that. So, it's big. It weighs over 1,000 pounds.
I don't know.
I think it's like 1,050 with the deck on.
Driving a lot of this stuff out. Like there's an extra one of these on there too. Like we don't use that either. It might come right out. It's in good shape. It might be if we just loosen up the springs. See, what has to come out is all of this. These are on collars. Maybe when we, next year we're gonna go through that and disassemble it and lube it all up, because you know what, if it's one of those things where if it's movable now, all right, this is the time to do it, and then we can clean up the rest of the container. And there's a few other issues with it along the bottom. There's some rust, there's some
the WT-1. I'm gonna look that up.
Another job for today is, this thing's a mess. It's gonna come apart. You can see how bad it is, but I think we can save it. So today's job is,
let's see,
we're going to take this off, and I want to see if I can make a block off plate of some kind, just to turn it a bit more into a mulcher. We'll lube it up. I want to look underneath and see what condition the blades are in. I had gone over that once already.
It says Robin.
We can save this. It's so heavy, fellas. And then we want to pull the oil out of that. It's probably gear lube or something.
They're calling it.
So maybe we can check that, or suck it out or something, and add more.
I'm
we don't
show you
want
guys
this to become a problem any more than it is. These are really expensive. You can find similar decks. They're still out there. Zippo's got tons of them. But on here in Long Island, forget it. I'd have to drive to the Midwest to get one of these. I saw one once for over $300, and it wasn't quite the right unit. But, maybe one day when I have more money, we might be able to modify something to put it into place. Because really, the only thing that makes, like, you could get a smaller deck too. The only thing that makes this what it is the overall height, which is not a problem because there's other ways of dealing with that. But it's this bracketry here and then this thing.
Nice.
With the pulley. So we may even want to try to mount this to a different deck at some point. And because I don't need a deck this big. And I have other decks. So we might want to look into that. That might be a doable thing. This is just mounted on here with bolts. Right? There's really nothing special to any of this. As long as we get the center, which is easy to do. They have things called rulers. And a little bit of fabrication. It might be easier to fabricate something from something existing. And we won't even have to bork any of this because all of this remains the same. We don't change any of this, really. Because why would you? This is what connects to what we're going to be connecting to later on. At least until I figure out what to do, right? Because she's in bad shape. Anyway, I think we'll get another season or so out of it. Like I said, I want to put a little better oil in it.
I got
this oil in some of the crappy lawnmowers that I sell. Because it's got like no hours
in it. Let me shoot you an email.
It's just getting a little black. It's a little thin. Yeah, it's not bad. All right. Let it drip. Right. See, I've already lubricated underneath here, so we don't have to do that again.
I'm just going to respond real quick to one I have.
And I did the tranny filter like a couple of years ago, and everything was mint underneath here. There's just a few things that I'd like to clearance in the future. I haven't fully checked the brakes, but they work, and I've kind of been in there. All right, let's leave it. Clean this off. Just wipe this. A little fresh slab of grease on it. These are the slip connectors.
All right, I sent over. I just responded to one of your emails.
15W40.
They're like I
used like a 5W30 or something last time because it was winter and that's what I had.
Hey, Nighthawk.
It's a little dark, as you can see, but this is good oil. It's a blend, as most of these things. This is not expensive.
The way I see it, all synthetic oils are the same.
Oh, think with your dipstick, Jimmy! Aren't all synthetic oils the same? Think with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Oh, synthetics or synthetics? Castrol Edge.
Hey, Rob.
I'm gonna try this.
Oh, no, that's thinking with your dipstick!
So why did you hit me?
Because you were thinking with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Think with your dipstick. Upgrade to new Castrol Edge. With 8 times better wear protection than Mobile One 5W30. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Drink it.
You guys remember that commercial?
Yeah, it's gonna like this. All right, let me figure out how much this needs, because like I said, I'm too damn lazy to go look it up in
Jimmy,
my folder. So let's just give it a minute. I have some other stuff to look at. I'm gonna check the tire. Might want to add some more slop leak in there. I'll let this sit. I'm sure it's gonna need more.
Hershey's milk chocolate with whole almonds. Wholly delicious.
Yeah, that was an actual commercial back in the day for Castrol.
All right, I got next to no pressure. A little bit. I only keep them up to about 15 anyway, which is a lot less than what they should be. Let's put a little bit of the slop leak in, flat out. I got some old stuff, and we'll put a little new stuff. This is some old crap. I think I put a little water in it, but we'll get rid of it. Oh, that was a lot. Bring it up. It's like puking its way in there. And then we'll put some of the new flat out. This is the stuff that I like. It's for like the small equipment and stuff like this. They have one for like ATVs, and it's made for bigger holes, like when you run over something and rip your tire open on the trail. Well, that's a different product, right? It's already got some in here, so that should be enough. We don't need a lot. Some of the other stuff is in too. Ooh. Break it up. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna put.
I got it. I got one of them in, Zip.
You know, sometimes they just.
All right, we're gonna look at this in a bit.
Disappear.
Stand by.
Where'd you go? Or you know. You say you want something, they're all the same for the most part. One guy told me something the other day. Like, first come, first serve. He's like, well, then I'm going to get there and you're not going to have it. And well, it's by appointment.
Appointment only. First come, first serve. Yeah, but I'm going to get there, and you're not going to have it. Well, that's what the appointment is for, right? Make an appointment. Yeah, but still, you could say that, and then I'll get there, and it won't be there. Oh, brother. Okay. Circular logic that goes nowhere. Right? I just stopped talking to the fella. I'm like, you obviously get damaged, and for me to try to talk to you, we're going to bait you to try to convince you, we're going to educate you how this works. No. Next. That's circular dummy logic. Almost. Put a little bit more than 15 in, so that I have a little bit of leakage room.
Your day.
Child. She's childing. So this is the one that I'm selling today. So it's not bad. This is the one, I think I released it, or I am releasing it, or I will be releasing it, the Honda 5.0 GC160. I mounted it on this frame. It's got the nice rims. I got the nice handle and wand. It's adjustable pump, so you can adjust the pressure. So let's see. They'll be here shortly. Oh, I got this piece.
All right, hold on. So I want to show you Zippo stuff. So Nighthawk, he says he's been real busy, right? Just got done work, sold 4 push mowers, working on a Craftsman tractor, fixed 5 customer mowers. I'm ready to fall on my face. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I did a whole bunch of shit last week too, on top of everything else. Yep. It's good though. You're busy. That's good to hear. Excellent. But yeah, I was just bitching about that customer, right? Well, the guy that bought that pressure washer, right? I'm pretty clear in my head. Okay. When I finally get through to the point where they're going to stop by or whatever, I'm like, well, don't knock on the front door because nobody's there. All right. Generally speaking, that's true. And I can't hear what goes on out in front. So he's out front, and usually they acknowledge it, right? Because, I write that in and whatever. I just sort of like an auto response I have set up, punch it in, and they usually acknowledge it. And so he comes and he's parked. I see him out front. He's knocking on the door, and I go wandering out front. I'm like, what are you doing? I told you, don't knock on the front door. I'm like, I guess you didn't read, right? And I said to the fellow, I'm like, you kind of parked the wrong way in the street. We're in the village. You'll get a ticket. You go, I'm not going to be here that long. I just want to take a quick look. And I was like, well, if I'd known that, I'm like, I'm not Home Depot. I don't do window shopping here. Okay. And I don't mean to be a dick, but I probably would have told you. If I knew that, I would have told you to go fuck yourself. And he's like, whoa. I'm like, not to be a dick or anything. I'm like, but pretty much everybody that buys my stuff, they just see it, they buy it. There's no back and forth. If they want it, they know what I do is good. I have a 5-star rating, and the prices are very good, and there's no reason to not buy it. Right? I don't do window shopping. Next. So, and I go to show the machine to him. He's like, if you want, I'll show it to you. And he made another comment. I'm like, so you didn't read my ad? Because that was in the ad too. You said you read the ad, but you didn't read the ad. He was a nice guy, right? I wished his wife a happy Mother's Day. They were very happy with the machine. I left him my phone number, and he wrote back and said everything works really good. And I gave him the full demo, and it's a beautiful machine. It's got the pressure balance valve that you can adjust. It's a nice pump. It's a nice Honda engine. What more can you ask for? That was mounted. That video is going to come out soon. It was mounted on a different chassis. I like to move things around and adjust. That was mounted on a different chassis with a different pump. It was a real piece of crap pump, and I got rid of the pump, put a better pump on it. And the way it was originally mounted is that you could not take off the blower cover, right, on the engine, the pull start cover. You had to remove the engine to service that side of the engine, and it needed it. It was all junk in the pull starter that needed to, the ignition needed to be gone over. So I go over these and I sort of repackage this stuff, and I said it in the ad so that people know. So yeah, Lewis says, the tire, Nighthawk says tire kickers. Yeah. And Lewis says he loves the old stuff. Yeah, they're like total tire kickers, and I don't do tire kickers. All right, let's take a look at this. Hold on, let me cue it up. Let me move you over to here. Hold on, I want to open up the pic. All right, hold on. Let me find another way to do this. I want to open up the pic. I'll save it so I can make them big size. Copy to what? What can I copy it to? How do I save this? I want to try to open them up because they're kind of small. Save as picture. Yeah, that's better. There we go. There we go. We'll go right to my desktop. All right, let's see. I should be able to get this one too. Let's go find them on my messy desktop. Yeah, it should be here somewhere. There's one. Yeah, let's bring this over. Oh, that's nice. That is beautiful. It's in really good shape. No wonder why people are offering you good money. I don't know if I've ever seen one of these from the 80s. It says extra tough. Yep, the 4 horsepower unit. Teledyne Total Power. Memphis, Tennessee. That's cool. Avoid spilled fuel. Shut off fuel valve when not in use. What the hell does that say? Demarrage? What does that mean? Let's see what the other pic looks like. Hold on. Let me go find that one now. Let's see. There's one. I'm going to put the other pic. Let's see. I'll just crap on my desktop. I'll move some things around. I don't know where it is. I'll save it again. Make sure it's on my desktop. Save picture as... Yeah, I'll go back to my desktop. There we go. There it is. It's a nice close pic of the motor. Oh, wow, you can really see it now. Fuji Heavy Industries, Tokyo, Japan. Wow, no wonder why people want this. You can't get anything like this anymore. Wow, that is cool. It's got about an inch of dust on it. I can let it sit for a couple of years, splash a little fuel on it, and it'll start second pull every time. Wow. Oh yeah, by the way, how you feeling, Zip? That's right. It's the Nighthawk says, Zip, how is your voice? It has me concerned, I think you meant to say. And Nighthawk says, I have one of those in my Snapper collection. I also have the 4-cycle version. Both have the blade brake clutch too. Black Wisconsin 2-cycle commercial version. Wow. You got some collection over there, Nighthawk. Stuff that you keep telling me about. You got a lot of goodies. That's nice. Because I just did like a quick search. And where is the search? It comes up. I get this. I get Robin engine. Let me move this stuff. I just did a search for that model number. And I get a lot of this stuff. Unless I got something wrong, but it's just what I get. But I get, this came up. I think it's just the way the search is. Why is it blue? There it goes. View file. It's not going to let me zoom in. But that's a driven version. This is, it says, my voice is still missing in action. Got doctor's appointments on top of doctor's appointments to try to figure things out. Because I have some on my channel. I'll have to check that out, Nighthawk. I'm going to load you up. There's some cool stuff. Look at this. Oh, look at this mini bike. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's like dangerous looking. That's like reminds me of one of them tractor bikes. Let's see if it just pops anything else up. Because it's like a rando search, and sometimes it, you know, they throw. I'd have to narrow the search, but this is what I did. All right. Oh, there's some good videos out there. Did I see a video here? I searched for some pics too. And all the specs and everything. Oh, wow, look at this. That's the Robin variant. Yeah, this is how we get them. This is how I get everything. Oh, my God. That's crusty. Yeah. It's so cool. That's it. Wash it in diesel or something. All right, let's go back to my video. Hold on. See, I like to get sidetracked. It's fun. Stop it for a minute.
I cleaned it up a little bit of oil, and then a little WD and a rag, and we'll get in there again. This all needs to be cleaned. This has not been cleaned in a while.
Elizabeth says, I get lucky. Nighthawk says, I get lucky and find the snappers. They don't know what they have. I also have an 82 snapper with big 5 horsepower on it. Sweet. I have my old snapper. I got my old snapper hanging around somewhere. The rear, you know, the cedar, the rider.
All right, so basically I just hang it on there, and it really kind of wants to live. This is already on. It's not that heavy, right? So especially once it's on the pivots here. And the only thing we got to do now, so I can see that that wants to go in, and that wants to go in. So just going to leave those there for a minute. But there's a piece here that we need to get into, and you would think it would line up, but it doesn't. It's really weird. It does not line up properly. So one way is you have to kind of move it back and forth. And I don't know why that is, but it is. It's trying to go in. Yeah, see? Just give it a knock. And like I said, I tape at the ends, but I don't like to put it that way, right? I don't like it like that. Because then the clip is on the inside. And it just, you know, I'm peeving about it. I don't like it there because it just makes it a little bit harder. But you can see it's on there. I think what I'd like to do, fellas, is take it back off and pass a drill bit into that piece. This piece that flops up, because it's just a bit cocked. I don't know why that would be, but it is a B. It ain't B. So that's kind of what I'm doing today, is just trying to see, you know, if there's anything I can do to. This is like I mentioned that I made this rod and all that fits well. I don't know if it's like, my thinking was, well, make one kind of to like a factory, and then if I want more mechanical advantage or more throw, I can think about that and, you know, later decide, right? But then at least I'll have one that's correct. And as I grow with the machine, I can make, you know, tweaks and changes. I gotta move you back, because this is gonna get hit a little bit. So let's take this back off. This is real easy, right? It just pops right in. Just move things around a little bit. All right, I'm gonna move you back. I'm gonna kind of put this, maybe I'll bring it up over on the table and pass a drill, because it's really thick. I made this bar. This is kind of for my forklift. It doesn't interfere with anything else. It won't even interfere if I put a ramrod over here, a hydraulic rod. A ramrod. All right, we'll be back in a minute. I'll let you know.
Quaker rice cakes. so delicious.
Sweet mother of caramel, that's good.
You'll almost swear by him.
It's built like a brick shithouse.
All right, I can see here. We'll put a flange on it, and we will open it a little bit. It's got a little bit of warble to it, but it's pretty tight. We're just going to freshen it. Okay? That's all I want to do. And let's see, it's going to take me a little bit, so I'll probably tune you out.
Nice, sharp step bit, uni bit.
There we go. And we'll just put a little bit of a counter bore. My uni bit. Which is just a step bit. Yeah, we're getting there. Just a little bit. Slow. That's good. Now turn around the other way, but you get the point, right?
Hold on.
Picking up one small size.
Night Hawk, drop your link. Drop your link so I don't have to look for it for your channel real quick. Let me know if it won't go in because I don't have any moderators or anything, and I honestly do not even know what I set it to. So if it doesn't drop the link in, if you want to drop the link in and it doesn't drop in, just let me know.
And making it round because it's
We'll
actually
navigate
a little
to
bit
your
oblong,
channel.
but I think it's just too short. The center distance, I don't know why. All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Because I have like
All right, all cleaned up and
2,000
done.
people I
Everything's
watch.
lubed, right? I got oil and grease. I left some meat in the center, right? I didn't go all the way through. I just kind of created a bit more of a path for alignment, and with also tapering these bolts, right? It acts like a drift, okay? And sometimes I do use this to align things because of the taper. So now we can go install it.
No
I
problem.
think for the last time, and
Take your
that's
time.
all I can do at this point. I think that's enough, but it's a little bit of something to tweak it a little. And everything else that I mounted on here, the thing that I made, right, is removable. It's actually bolted on. It's a separate unit, so you can see the bolts over there. And I just welded on flanges to mount it to, and it served me well. All right, let's get this done. All right, that's much smoother, way smoother. I still couldn't get it to come in from this side. I think it just needs a touch more tweaking, and I'll do that another time, right? It's fine. This one went real smooth. It actually went in much better, but I really would rather have, I made this it's like a spring spacer plate. In fact, I should probably put more spring into it. You kind of create a spring by beveling the plate. You make it like convex, I think is the better word. So it just basically sits in this bayonet here, and it's all done, okay? When I start it up, I'll raise it up, and I'll move this thing out, and then we're going to bring in, I guess we'll bring in this guy. I was just wondering whether I should just pull it up on the forks or just drag it in by hand. I'll probably just drag it in by hand. All right.
That sounds sweet. It's working good. I didn't put the forks on yet.
Right?
Oh my God, look.
It's bad. But I've had cars worse than this. Right? I can fix that. Everything is good. Last year or 2 years ago, whenever, I was able to get grease in the grease fittings. I sharpened up the blades. There's some string wrapped around this, so we're going to get that off. We pop the blades real quick. And then grease the fittings, sharpen the blades, put them back on. Everything looks good.
I told you. I told
they
you.
don't. It doesn't matter which way these go.
It's so heavy, it doesn't care.
So they're not phased.
Embrace the wild waves of tangy, cool heat. Try
Tangy.
another angle with
I like
Doritos
tang.
Flamin'
You guys like
Hot
tang?
Cool Ranch.
These are so nice. They're such heavy blades. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm just going to clean them up again. I already gave them a cleaning a couple of years ago, and they're still pretty sharp. So just a quick cleaning, delousing. Look how nice these are, right? So just a wire wheeling, and I'll put some more grease on like I did last time.
Nice hardware.
No-seas, lather them up, and like I said, we'll defoul, grease them up, and put them back on. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we'll pop this bolt off, and I think this may be one more bolt. Yeah, it's just over here. It's just an extra bracket. All right, we'll do that while we're here. All right, defouled. I just wiped them off with this oily rag, but look at how nice they are. They're all in beautiful shape. Check
They're so
balance. Balance is good. Let's get them on. Let's get it on. You know, 4 should be good. I mean, we don't know. It could be completely dry.
Yeah, how many pumps should I put in these things? Zip. Or any of you guys know?
I suppose you could try to do it until it like pukes out of somewhere. See, the Smart Seeker. Get yours now. Available at local stores. No, actually go online to Smart Seeker.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And you should find it. Now, I think we're going to lather up all of this.
Okay,
this
I'll figure it out.
So,
let me search
like
you.
A coating. You could just like use like a spray wax as well. And I might put the spray wax on, but we want to get it on these splines. Yep, I got to get some more. Definitely. So just a little bit, just around, you know, the metal. So because it'll wax up and it'll keep it from rotting. Because that seems to be what happens. Now, how's this go again?
Let's see if I can find you.
I'll put a little on the blade surface too, because I had like little pimples that were sticking up. You don't want anything that's going to make the blade stand up. Maybe we could take the hose off. And, you know, put a little on this too.
Here we go.
Let's take our straw off. Besides, straws are banned.
I got it.
Straws are banned everywhere anyway.
I got it, Nighthawk. Coming up next. Damn right,
fellas. I can't take it. All right, so there's the bushing. Kind of the wing towards the, you know, where it needs to be. I don't know which blade is better. I suppose there is one that's better. We'll put a little bit on here. There you go. I'm liking this. It's a new way. Because I noticed there was a lot of rust forming. These were bad. I had to kind of really clean these up the first time. They were bad because the water sits, you know, kind of like hangs in these spaces. And the more it rusts, the more water hangs. All right, let's blammo it.
The holes. Oh my God.
Okay. All right, quick adjustment. Doesn't that look sweet? Quick adjustment. Let's see. Let's try one of these first. This is heavy, so I may need something bigger, even though it looks sweet.
I know, right? Like those things like you put on your wall with the bulb behind it, right? That you shine on your wall in your room when you're a kid. Even like trying to bend back this stuff with the holes in it and everything, it still was hard to bend.
Terrible.
I know, Rob. I know. I was saying when I first thought, I'm like, I can fix it. I can fix it. What I really would like to have before I fix this is like an excuse if I can ever afford a plasma cutter. I mean, they're not that expensive. I'm just broke right now. So, but it would be nice to have a plasma cutter, just even a small one, because then I can, you know, lay out a patch area, cut the patch with the plasma cutter, clean up the ends, and then lay that down on the deck, cut that area out, weld to where it's good, and sort of, you know, Frankenstein my way around the whole thing and find ways of buttressing it and supporting it, making it a little bit better. It doesn't have to be pretty, you know. It says, yes, plasma cutter. And, you know, isn't that nice? It says, the steel on these decks is crazy thick and tough. It really is. Like, I'm like, I can't believe it. Like, you'll see when I go to put it on, which is coming up right now. But the plasma cutter, I've been wanting one, even like one of those like cheesy Yes welders or whatever, the Chinese, you know, something that I looked at a whole bunch of them, and there's a lot of people that kind of give kind of the thumbs up. I mean, it's not, you know, look, it's not like a really good unit, but for the amount of times that I'm going to use it, I might be interested in taking the chance. You can probably find something about $200. Yeah, the Chinesium. Yeah, that's like true Chinesium stuff. But for a job like that, and I also have some very thick steel, plus I have other decks. You know, actually, Mikey asked me if I wanted 2 decks, and he didn't bring 2 decks. I wonder, I should remind him. He just mentioned that, too. Rob says, like the rear window of my Chevelle. Yeah, you had to do it at a pat. Rob has a nice, beautiful Chevelle, and when he was doing it, the rear window pinch weld was just gone. And what's up, Brett? What's up? Shop talk with Brett. Nighthawk says, yeah, man, 20 bucks, they work well from what I've seen. Yeah. 20, the Yes 20p is what Nighthawk is saying. That people say they work good. You just want to make sure that you get some extra consumables. Some of the fellows have said that they don't come with some of those extra things. They are easy to get, but you want to make sure they're attainable and get them. Yeah, that's what I figured. 200. That's about what they are. And I think for something like this, I do like to do metal fabrication. I have a little bit of it on my channel. Like I said, I made that lift rod. I don't do enough of it anymore because I'm so busy just trying to, earn a living with everything that's happened to me in my life. But I really do like to fabricate stuff. And I got rid of a lot of my tools that, sadly. So it's time to try to bring some of that stuff back. And, go for things like a good power saw. I mean, yes, you could do it with a grinder, but it's such a horror, Isn't that cool?
I hit a bunch of spots with oil in any area that moves. We'll get to the rollers later, because I actually use the rollers, not for striping, but it kind of tells me when I'm hitting the grass and where I want to be. Still got to do a couple of spots.
That's right,
here.
Bondo it.
Can we get this off? Because my thinking is, if you get this off, I think you can turn it on.
Epoxy.
In the direction we had it.
And mesh wire.
And then, yeah. Look at that. That's going. And then that way, come here, you can see if it drains out. Oh, there was pressure in that. Yeah. All right, I got to put a rag or something. So why don't we turn it upright and drain it into a clear pan and see what it looks like. But there's definitely some. My guess is you fill it. Maybe to this one or this one. I don't know. They're all about the same height. This is the same height as here. So if it's peeing out and I'm on a little bit of an angle, maybe this is the fill hole or something. I don't know. I'm guessing, right? Arch, why don't you go look in the manual and stuff? Fellas, look, listen. I'm getting tired. I got to cut my lawn. It's getting late. All right? Can you do me? One of you guys do me a favor? Go look in the manual. This pulley's all getting beat. It's falling apart. But they're so strong and like beefy. That's not even the right size belt. I managed to mash that on. We got to get some lube in here too. Is there grease fitting over it? Yeah, I think so. Get a grease fitting on that. All right, we'll be back. I got to figure this out. While I'm doing this, do me a favor. Go look in the manual for me. I bet you if Zippo's watching this, he'll be like yelling. You gotta put this in. Throw that one out. I got plenty. I don't know. Who knows?
Yup.
Crunchy, satisfying Quaker Simply granola. Help you make the most of your morning, no matter how you morning.
Hold on. Let's see. All right. Let me back up a little bit. So yeah, Nighthawk, right? We'll just grab some like window mesh screen, lay it down, clean everything good, right? A little wire wheel, lay down in the window mesh screen, dump some epoxy over everything, right? Oh, listen, I've done cars like that. Remember, like, Bondo and screen and pop rivets and yeah, like I said, I've had cars like that. Let me catch up. Brett says, what's up, everybody? Happy to report my senior cat, Charlie, had a good report, good, at the vet, and the meds are working. Excellent. And he's starting to gain weight again and no more diarrhea. Oh, my dog, I was just saying, my dog just shit in the house before I started the live show. And the other night, I don't know if he peed or knocked over the water bowl, but he was ashamed. He came back over and I was like, he's getting old, That's good to hear. Oh, Zippo. It's like all the manuals Zippo sent me. He sent me like a manual for everything, every nut, bolt, and screw. And I'm thinking I should go. I was getting tired. Like it was a long day. It was a long night the night before. And, yeah, just smooth it out. Just screed some, There was this Volkswagen that I have on my channel for a little while. Somebody took, 79 VW. Somebody took some kind of concrete. It's like a plasticized concrete. And every place where there was major rot, they literally screeded this concrete. I remember with a hammer. It was not Bondo. I remember with a hammer, and the guy that owned the car at the time, I'm like banging on him. I'm like, what do you think this is? Big rocks were coming down. They were like fit in your hand like this. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, I had this guy work on the car. He gave me a good price. Yeah, huh? Oh, man, it was horrible. It was not right. It's some kind of like plasticized concrete or something. And I've heard of people, it reminded me kind of like burner cement, the gun when you place it into the breech of the burner and you put this, it was kind of like that, but that's more fibrous. This wasn't, it was kind of fibrous. And then there were areas where I had to cut out with the flame torch and it wouldn't even light on fire. Like it just would glow red and you'd just bang it and hot rocks are spewing out. It says I've only got about 25 Sunstar manuals. The one I can't send because it's way too big is the technician service and repair manual. Oh, wow. That's nice. That's nice. No, I do appreciate them. And I had a couple of that I go on from somewhere of my own that helped me to get started. But I have them all nice put away in my Sunstar folder where I keep, all of the legit stuff for Sunstar. Because, I'm not getting rid of it. And if I ever found another one, I'd have two. Zippo has like 10. I've seen the bottom of a 67 Buick sprayed with concrete gun. Yeah, what a mess, Ninehawk says. Brett says, need a forklift to move that manual. Yeah, it says, by the way, at 60, the deck weighs at 220 pounds. No wonder why I can't move it around so easy. It's heavy. Well, now it doesn't weigh 220. It's been lightened for racing, right? So it's a racing deck. So if you spray it nice and clean and put some stripes on it, it would be a really good lightweight racing deck. Lewis Moses says, my kids are visiting from college. Gotta go. All right, Lewis, thanks for stopping in. Say hey, everybody. And yeah, I saw you on earlier. I think you were on Ken's. Is that you? I think it was you. Yeah, you were on Ken's for a little while. I don't remember. I just kind of was doing stuff and hanging out over there at Ken's small engines and stuff. He had a nice live stream today. It was fun. Yeah, rust reduction, weight reduction. All right, let me go back. And then we're going to go take a look at Nighthawk stuff in a minute. All right, yeah, I can smell it on my fingers. It's definitely you. It smells like, the day after corned beef and cabbage. That kind of stink. Is this going to be enough? I can't imagine it holding very much. And maybe this is how you fill it. I don't know. It's a little dirty. It could use fresh. Yeah, I bet you if we spin it, it'll probably come out faster. And then maybe we'll take this off, and that'll allow it to come out faster too. Yeah. Do I have a little wrench for that? What do I got? Let me see. Oh yeah, taking that little top one off. Yeah, I would say it needs to be changed. I probably have enough to put in there, plus I have some other stuff that I can put in, and then we can always do it again to give it a flush. But I do have some laying around. I think it's enough. Look, it doesn't actually hold that much. So I'm thinking, well, I don't know what I'm thinking. All right, yeah, I took out that top tightness. I don't know. I took out this top one. I have seen another one, Zip. I actually saw another one, but this one is pretty big. And so remember, it's the 3 blades, so it's pretty, big deck. And I've never been in it. This is the first time I've been in it. All I did was, I think, lube up, the coupler or what have you. But I was concerned, and you'll see the oil, like it does not look good. But it's such a nice dry box. I don't hear any noises. You'll hear it a little bit. It just runs so sweet. The way these things go is we're going to be filling above that line. So this is pretty good.
All right, it's gonna take all of this. So I have some other stuff, and if we have to finish up with a little bit of the old, but I don't think I have any more of this. But we'll put a decent amount in.
And Zippo's gonna find out.
I'll just fill
those cheaper John Deere S140. That's actually a better one. The 110 is a real piece of junk.
So let's let that dribble in there. It's probably real close, right? I should have let this in. I'm gonna lift up the front a little bit and put a tubey on it because she's leaning a little. But you could tell it came out here. I got some stuff I took out of a pump that I was working with, and it's a very thick oil, and it's pretty fresh. Okay, I took it out and I changed it and I did something else. So it hasn't really been run and it hasn't been heated. And we'll get a look at the other oil, the old oil, in a little bit. Does this feel like there's a crap on top of that?
I know. Don't get me started either. I know. The crap that they sell.
This is going to be way more better than what was in there. I'm glad we did this. There it comes. See, she's tickling out. There she is. Okay, that's all we need. All right. It's going to be all over the belts.
You can almost see the number, a name on the side. Durst?
That's it.
Is that what it says?
All right, fellas, I think we're just about done. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little oil on these rollers just to keep everything happy and going. Clean this up a little bit. It's as good as we're going to get it. So I'll do the rollers now. I'll clean up. We're going to move this over to the side and pull the tracker back in. And then you slide it in from the right side, standing behind it, right? Your passenger side. And yeah, we got to hook up the drive shaft. I just got to put the top back. This piece here, after I wipe it, and we're good. We'll do that. It smells too. It smells weird. It's thick and it's dirty, so you can't even see through to the bottom. And this is a shallow pan. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, I'm glad we did this. No, one for all them holes. Be pretty good. Just gotta shove it underneath. I just came up with some better hardware. This is already lubricated, so we took that off of the other implement, shoved it in there. That's all good to go. All right, I just gotta shove it underneath. What I did find is that it's easy to just lean over and put the back end up on some wooden blocks, like a 4x or something. You can't see it necessarily in here. Can you see it? The chain hangs down, and then you can connect it. And then what we'll do is we'll lift up the front. Now, what I didn't realize is I should have not put this on yet, because it's easier to get a jack underneath the front. But with the back hanging, it's actually not as heavy because it's picking up half of the weight. So let me see what I can do. Almost there. And then we got to reach under and put the drive shaft on. Now, once it's hanging, look at that, how easy it is to pick it up. So I'm just going to reach underneath there, deal with that, and I'm getting tired, but yeah, let's do that. All right, I just I put my little scissor jack in the front.
I was trying to be
some
careful.
Different bolts for the front. I think next time I'll do is I would like to make some pins.
Yeah, it says Durst on it, Zip. That's what it seemed to say. I had that one shot where it said Durst, I think is what it was, what I read. And Zipper says, yeah, it's the Durst and the Curtis and the Peerless. Yeah, well, the Tranny's, I think, is what Peerless, right? Isn't that what that one is? I was trying to watch my back, too, because it was a long day.
Just to pin everything with clips, with clevis pins. It looks good.
Yeah, I need some pins for it.
All right, there's my weight in the back. I also have some batteries.
You got to watch torquing.
To put back there, lead. And so it's down all the way.
Yeah, what I learned was this motion, right? If you're dragging or pulling or pushing, never torque, never twist, right? Especially for my back, I know that, the only time you should be doing that is when you're exercising and being very thoughtful. But I always try to stand a certain way, and I think about lifting. And after years of this back issue, it's now second nature. But you know, when I hurt my back is like Sunday morning when I go to tie my sneaker, right? Something like that will happen, or Monday morning, and I maybe I might feel some soreness for a few days, and I'll try to rest, and then all of a sudden I'll go to move, and I'll be like, 911, I need a crane. I can't move, right? Because you can't move at all. Yep, absolutely. And that's most people. Like my chiropractor told me the story about they joke about in school. They joke about us, you know, going into like from Cro-Magnon or whatever it is, from, you know, the different hominid species to the one that we are now. I can't think of it right now. They joke about it because if we had stayed as like the Neanderthal, they'd all be out of business because the Neanderthal is like more, has a larger back area, and all that is all much beefier and stronger. And the story goes is that when the ice receded, and one of these ice, you know, scenarios, that the plains opened up, and apparently our version of human was able to run faster and was more agile on the open plains, you know, because we were chasing after gazelles. Yeah, okay, whatever. But that's the story, and they joke about it. And because we became what we are now, they make a lot of money. Something like that. That's what he told me. All right, let me go back to it. We're going to get to Nighthawk in a bit.
Pretty much. What we'll do is let me go police the
Homo
yard.
sapien, yeah.
And
I'm Homo normative. Is that the same thing? There we go. Sounds good. So nice to drive it too. It's so comfortable. It's really maneuverable, even on my little lawn. This thing's so cool. Got the head gasket for it, and we're gonna fire it up. Yep, pretty soon. All right, so I guess I put my foot here. Yeah, something like this. This is gonna be fun. So this is gonna be the other one. So we'll get the Sunstar, we'll get this one going. These are to be the two old girls, right? Aluminum deck, we gotta fix it, but you know, this one also is shaft drive. Let me get it off it again. Yeah, it's got two gearboxes on it.
You're not supposed to step on it. That's probably how this broke. So we're gonna have to fix that good. Yep, we'll get there. We're gonna have to bring this in soon. Another couple of weeks we're gonna get to it. And then we can get it started. We can bring it in, get it cleaned off. And this one I'm going to go bring in now, which, like I said, she's running real good. That's the weight thing from that old project that I did with the generator. She's just running so good. Smooth. That oil helped out a lot. I don't see it blowing smoke or nothing. it needed another oil change. It's all lubed, so I'm not gonna do anything there. I don't think I'm just gonna clean it, like I said. All right, I'm out of here. Go close up. What a long day. Nice. Here it is. Nice.
Nice. All right, let me move this out of the way. All right, you're up next, Nighthawk. Stand by. Stand by. Let me catch up. Let me catch up for you guys. I had a lot of fun, though. It runs so smooth. Eventually, we're going to get to that little Sears. But it just runs so smooth. Let's see. Back up. Sounds sweet and nice. Azippa says, where are your front anti-scalp wheels and brackets? I never got them. I've never seen them. And I got the two implements, which I tracked down. I got the deck was already installed. I had to take it off. It was missing the lift rod, right? My guess is gone, right? So, yeah. It doesn't scalp, though. It can. Yeah, it can scalp. So if I ever fix it, we'll have to make something for it. I'll check to see what it is. And he says, or is that the 40? I think it is like the 48-inch deck, because it's got the 3 propellers on it. Let's see. Niox says, I have a John Deere with the X304 with the all-wheel steering. I'm waiting on a steering sector to become available for it as the teeth are worn down. Oh, that sucks, but that's kind of pretty cool. I have the Craftsman outside, not the one I just showed you, the red one, which is 4-wheel steering. Okay, it's got the like the boxer style Briggs motor in it, right? The opposed cylinder. It's pretty rusty, but I don't see any like rot throughs or anything. So I grabbed it, glommed it. The back, the rear wheel hubs with the half shafts and everything, they're so overkill. I do want to get to that. I think that's going to be fun. Let me take this, put this back on here, leave it on. It says the steering gear on the shaft is fine, just need the damn sector. Yes, nice. It was a nice way to finally end the day. I was going to try and do like a live or something. I was like, you know what, I'm just shot. And my daughter said, do you want to hang out and do a fire? And of course, I can't say no to that, right? So we just kind of hung out and had a drink or two and just ended an evening in a nice way. Zipper says, is talking to Engine Medic, says, that's a 40-inch deck, or my eye is playing tricks on me. I don't know. I can go measure it in a minute. Yeah, I can go do that. I can go grab a ruler. And let's see. Yes, I saw the Oppie, my favorite engine of all time. Yeah, yep. Let me see. Yeah, so I guess they were all. Maybe it's just wider. Hold on, let me grab a ruler. I need a flashlight. Stand by. I'm going. All right. I think it's a 48-inch deck because I just shoved the tape in through the discharge area. I shoved it in and it went to about 49, so my guess is it's a 48-inch deck. But yeah, which is still a big deck, and especially for my narrow property. I mean, I have like 3 different lawns to do, and I got this big building on it, and the other building on it, and the other building on it, and it's decent enough. And I gotta say, I have that little green Craftsman rider. It's the little, rear engine riding mower, and I've got the snapper, and they're actually not they're smaller and they're easy to use, and the little one fits through the gate, no problem. And it's kind of fun. But they don't even turn as well as this thing does. Like, this thing has such a tight turning radius. if I drive it out to the driveway, I can do my little property out front, no problem. Like it clears everything. It's easy to drive. It's easy to use. It's like driving like a lawn Cadillac kind of thing. All right, so we know it's about 48 inch. Let's take a look at Nighthawk here. Let me just shove me over and make sure make sure we're seeing it. All right, let's see. Welcome to Nighthawk Mowers. This is his YouTube channel, everybody. For those of you that may not know. And let's just check on this one. Here is a nice one right here. Yeah, I saw this one like a week ago. I think I was looking at it. Sounds good.
Look how nice that run.
Idle's good.
Drive work. Look at the condition of it.
Wow. Hold on. Let me bring it back. Now, Nighthawk, did you restore that or just clean it up or service it? You know, was it let me see if I can find more on your channel. Yeah, maybe it didn't, Zippo, maybe it didn't have them. I never got them with it, but there is a couple of spots where I do get a bit of a, if I go really low, it'll sometimes scalp a little bit. So I do have to be careful with that. Let me see what else is on this channel. Let's see here. Let's go to his home page. All right, here we go. Let me come back. Let's see. Did I just hit the other one? No, let me come back. Hold on, let me find it. Shorts. Why did I just get this one? Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking through your channel real quick. Here we go. Yes. Oh, but this is kind of similar to this one I saw you do a while back. Let me swap. Let's see. I remember this one. I remember when you did this one. Yeah, here's a Time Master. This is kind of like my snapper. That one has a joystick on it. Check that out.
Okay, snapper yard cruiser.
That's cool.
Free. Had to change the engine. The other engine was seized. I'll show some photos. And there's the thing, NHZ 143808V as in Victor, E as in Eddie. I got to do a lot more cleaning on it. But I did the Pate's Performance. Blackening. Thank you, nephew. But I had received this for free.
Jason's trick.
It was in real rough shape when I got it. But it has a joystick, 0 turn. It's really cool the way it works. But I'm going to jump on and start it now, show you that everything works. As you can see, the muffler is cold. So it's a cold start. See, let's jump on. I already turned on the gas. It's in choke. That's the PTO switch. This is the brake. And this is the key. Here we go. Why isn't it working? There it goes. There goes the deck.
Really? There it is.
Brake off. We're driving.
Up, we're going for a ride. What are you driving over? Sounds good.
And there you go. It's really cool though, this joystick here. Just the slightest touch on this thing and it moves beautifully. It's a little choppy because the rear double stack pulley is a little messed up because I had to get it off the other engine, but I was able to bend it out and make it sort of straight again. That's why I'm going to put on a brand new one. It'll be real smooth. I cleaned all the pulleys on it, made it guys got called down to the other end of the gate by a neighbor. We have drones flying around here, up on the roofs and stuff like that, checking us out. We're all waving.
Oh, that's not good.
I don't know who they are, but you know, that's it for right now.
That's nice.
Take care. Bye.
Let me come back. Let's find another one. What was the other one? This is the Snapper zero turn. There was another one that you mentioned. What was the other one you were talking about? It's about the friction plate. This one, by the way, I have this one. I have something very similar to this in the backyard. It's got that. No, mine's different. Okay, this is the one that you did the paint job on. No, I was thinking of something else. What was the other one that you were talking about? Close that player. Yeah, here we go.
Just a sneak peek. Got another one, nephew. This is the Robin 4-cycle.
Right.
It has the oil, but I'm in the process of cleaning it out and fixing it up. Got it for $20. Can't beat that. Cleaning the carburetor now. Awesome. Had to fix a few things on it. Straighten the pole out, put the wires on right, cables I mean. But it's,
wow, you got about as much junk in your area as I do as I have.
Runs perfect.
Nice.
Just cleaning the carburetor.
That thing's clean. Is that going to be just part of your collection? Not planning on selling it, right?
Clutch on this one. It's still the good blade.
Let's see.
When wagging
let
tails
me come back.
lead to odor trails.
Find one more. I want to show you guys some of Zippo's yard, right? Like his collection. We're going to cruise through. If Zippo doesn't mind, we're going to cruise through his channel real quick. So there was that one. There's the Time Master. That's always nice. There was another one I remember you had on your channel. A Time Master. You got a lot of Time Master stuff on there. That's pretty popular, the Time Master stuff. That's some nice shit. Definitely. Oh, hold on, wait, let me move this. I wanted to take you guys on a tour of Zippo's garden. It's like all my stuff in the back is what I call my garden. Let's see if I can queue up a good one. Let's see, just a quick cruise. Oh, barn find. I didn't check that one out yet. This is a nice Wisconsin here too. Did I see this one? Yes, I saw this one. It's got a nice engine on it. All right, let's see. Let's just kind of cruise through real quick and find one. It should pop up. Here we go. All right. Look at the score. All right. Oh my God. All right, there's two here. All right, let's yeah, let's check this one out. Let me
First things first, Turn on closed captioning.
I love the Alice too. I mean, I love all of the stuff that you have.
Did it again.
Turn on closed captioning.
Picked up another one.
So this is nice. They're all beautiful, but they're just varying degrees.
Places. And it is in immaculate shape.
It's just beautiful.
Charging the battery. I'm also pressurizing the tank to get rid of the old gas.
That's a nice idea. I like that.
But I didn't want to take a chance. So
that was smart.
Do that.
I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that technique.
Take the main fuel line off. Get your catch can. And then back here, I've got my air nozzle, hose clamp. And this is a vented cap, where this one's flat.
All right, they have a little screw, fellas.
This one has a screw on top. And if you watch, you'll see the gas flow. And I'm going to the doctor on Monday. Get this voice squared away.
Here we go. That's sweet.
Well, I guess the tank is now empty. So now I'm gonna let the battery charger do its thing for a little bit while I check
Yes.
things out.
Yeah, that was the one from the graveyard.
Was new in 2005. I seriously doubt it's any good, but it's taking a charge, so we shall see. And it's a Walmart battery to boot.
Oh my God!
But
yeah, let's see with the hood closed. Wait till you see.
A little bit.
That's what's wrong with it.
Tear right there. I also took some mineral spirits and got the boot scuffs off of here. See this one right here? I forgot to get that one. There's a bunch of them over here.
It's waxable.
But got the battery charged. I don't know how well the battery's going to turn it over, so we'll find out. I did purge the fuel. Finished taking a walk around. Even the block-off plates are both still here.
Yeah, I don't have that either.
And the one that goes on the front to cover the front PTO.
Wow, I don't have that.
This one is either the nicest or very close to the nicest. Let's get the hours. 941.4 hours.
Wow.
Let's check the oil real quick before we crank it over.
She looks good.
Right on the mark.
So Nighthawk says, yeah, this works like a charm. Yeah, great way to kind of pull off all the extra garbage and just blow it all out. Nighthawk says, my friend Dave had a Simplicity, a really nice one. I told him if he ever wants to get rid of it, I'll take it. But the bonehead scrapped it. What? Because he wants a new zero turn. Oh, what a moron. Oh my God. What did he do that to like get under your skin? That's horrible. Oh, he's going to start it.
The doctor Monday, by the way, for my laryngitis. I primed the fuel line by using that air fitting that I've got on that vented cap to get the fuel up there so it won't have to crank as long to start. So I guess we're good enough to go ahead and try to crank this thing over, see what happens. So we can look down here and see if the fluid level's correct. Yep, it's hard to see, but fluid level's about 1 inch above that fitting, which is where it needs to be. Just can't believe how nice a shape this thing's in. It's even got a cup holder.
Oh my God, cup holder. That's just not fair.
Okay. Ready? Just choke it. I don't need full throttle. Come back on that a little bit. About half throttle. I hear the hour meter clicking.
Yeah, mine's broken. So was my fuel gauge. It fell. The needle fell down.
About a third of a tank of gas. See if she'll crank. No crank. I don't know why we don't have a crank. Might be because I had it in neutral. We'll see.
Oh, the suspense.
Crank it. Do I have to sit in the seat? That's the first one I've ever seen that the seat switch is still working on.
Right, mine doesn't.
Give me a second, I'm gonna hook my jump pack up. Jump pack's ready. I don't have the covers on here.
Yeah, I've done that. Forget, you know, like you have the spark plug boot off and you do everything except for that. And you're like trying to pull it.
It goes just like this.
I can't believe it. It's an actual simplicity couple. It's crazy. This thing is amazing.
Okay. Ready? I don't have the headlights hooked up either. There's the seat switch. Okay, here we go. Meter timed out. It's back on, but put it on boost. It's on boost.
It's coming. It's coming.
Here we go. Gotta wait on the meter. Be right back. Okay, again, turn closed captioning on. I tinkered. Emptied the fuel bowl, there was water in it. Cleaned the spark plugs.
Did it come on? Yeah, okay, yeah, there it is.
So that's full disclosure. It has already started. We're gonna see how it does on a restart.
Oh yeah.
It's not perfect.
That's right, Zip. You've helped us. Yeah, you've helped us all one way or another. Right? I'm gonna make you guys wait. Okay, to see it started. Yeah, we're all rooting for you, Zip. We want you to get better. But you almost had it there. It was like I was watching one of your videos recently, and like it would like come on, and your voice would be there for a bit, and then it would like disappear, and like it's like, oh, I hope he's getting better. So yeah, God bless it. We all wish for you to get better, whatever is wrong. The worst thing is that when something's wrong with you, and they're like, we're not really sure, and you're like, great, doc, that's great. You know, how much am I paying you again? Yeah, 15 years. Yep. Wow. I've been doing it like 3 years. Yeah, I think this is like really my third year. The very, very first couple of videos I did, it was just me just trying to fool around and stuff. And my doctor actually wants me to tell you guys the story, right? The story of how I survived 2 major events and I'm still here, right? He's like, you should tell them, you know. I'm like, yeah, I will one day, right? You know, it's because it's to him, it's like, I think it's like an inspirational story. It's like somebody can kick the crap out of you, throw you down off a cliff, drive over you with a tank, and you fell out of an airplane, and yet you survived all of it. Yeah, it is hard to find the time to film, and because it's not just the filming. For me, it's the editing and whatever else I want to do, and I probably make too much of a production of everything. But that's the hobby part, right? Because this is hobby and money, and sometimes I get the two confused, you know, because I'm having too much of a good time. But I remember there was I don't know, what was it, like the very beginning of the winter or whatever, it actually snowed where Zippo is, and he actually had the Sunstar out doing a bit of plowing because he was working on that plow modifying it and all that other stuff. And I didn't get a chance to use anything this year. This did not snow. We had a dusting, and that was it. Let's go back to this video. All right, let's see. He's going to start it. Let me shut up.
Carburetor needs a little cleaning out. Give it just a little bit of throttle, a little bit of choke.
Wow.
Ready?
4 hours. That must have been fun. That must have been fun.
And say it louder than me. 3, 2, 1. Contact.
Sweet.
All right, now I'm going to start it, take the battery off, close the hood, put it through its paces here in the shop, and show you guys power steering's working. I already checked the lift when I had it running earlier. The lift.
Yeah, Bleach. He says he's trying to find another snapper rear engine in my air for a YouTube hobby project. Yeah, definitely. Zibo was saying that he, for those that, I know some, I like to read it, one, because I enjoy reading it, and two, because some of us are on a phone or whatever, and they're not always looking at the, the scrolling text and everything. They're just struggling on a little phone, right? Screen, struggling to see, is some of the guys saying to me, Arch, can you do more close-ups? I'm watching this on a phone, for Christ's sakes, right? I'm trying, fellas. I'm trying to figure out how to get closer in, but if the camera's too close, I do have one camera with a nice lens so I can zoom in, and I try to do that. But for me, it's bad because I have these monitors right here, and where are the monitors? Here are the monitors, right? I've got these monitors, and there's one more, which is my confidence monitor over there for the shop. And I have this camera set on automatic tonight. I wanted to see how well it works. It doesn't work well on automatic. See what it's doing? It's desperately trying to autofocus. It's focus breathing, and it's grainy because it's probably fooling around between the f-stop and the shutter angle and everything else. It doesn't know what to do. So usually I set it manually, but I said, well, let's just fool around with it. So my problem is that I think that everybody does this, right? That everybody is looking, I forget that most of us are actually looking through this. And I keep trying to come back to that and go, all right, I gotta pay attention here. Let me see if I can get closer. Yeah, you had one decent, a bit of snow, slushy. But yeah, Bleach, if you can find something, really just anything, almost anything is kind of neat. That's a little bit off the beaten path. Just a little bit. Doesn't even have to be like esoteric, some, one of these engines that these guys have, Wisconsin, a Robin, a two-stroke or whatever. I mean, that's nice. Okay, that's nice. And those are keepers. But just anything and throw it up there. And you build your library. Anybody that's doing this that hasn't been doing it a while, and if you're thinking, oh, geez. What I learned is that just turn the camera on, right? Don't worry about if it's shitty footage. That's what editing is for. Don't make a shorter video then, all right? Cut out all the crap. I mean, most of my stuff is crap anyway, so, just turn the camera on and start recording. It's as simple as that. You can't make a video if you don't have any footage. If you've got a bunch of footage, I'm still working on videos from last year, and I'm releasing them from months ago. I've got tons of them. A lot of them I don't even think are worth it, and I'm not even sure why I pick one video over the other. I really don't know. It's whatever the spirit moves me. But I just record everything, and then I shove it into my computer. My biggest problem is how do I fit it? Because I've got like multiple terabytes worth of drives. I have something like 10 drives or something. I'm trying to figure out how to back it up so I can hold on to it. I've had drive failures. I've had computer failures, but I find ways of storing it. And then sooner or later, I'll look at it and I'll go, well, I wanted to make a video that showed this. And I really thought when I started making the video, I wanted to show this thing. And I wanted to show this thing. And then like a couple of months go by, whatever it is, I start looking at the video. I'm like, well, that's all fucking crap, right? I can't do that. I have a better idea. Why don't we turn the video into something else? And maybe it'll be shorter. Maybe just be a completely different idea. So even my intros and my outros, they're going to change. But I do the intros and outros anyway because it gives me a reference point. Because I don't remember what the hell I did 3 months ago, a year ago. I'm not going to remember. So I record as much as I can. I babble into the stupid camera, and then later on I look at it and go, well, that's crap. Let's get rid of some of that. But look, I can save this piece here, and maybe I can form it into something else. It's just advice. You could do it any way you want, but if you don't have the footage, you don't have a video. Let's go back to this thing. Let me read. Let me catch up to you guys. It says, so just to back up, so he was driving around for 4 hours. That must have been fun. That must have been fun. Just do will it run? Yeah, will it run videos. I can't count how many of my videos are just getting engine started. Yeah, that's huge. People love it. And sometimes people will complain with the car videos or the will it run. I watch this one guy, he occasionally does a will it run on the aircraft engines. And, people will complain, well, anybody can get an engine to run if you put it on. Don't listen to them, right? Just do a will it run. It's fun to see an old engine start up. I always enjoyed it. When I was like really young, I used to go and rescue cars and trucks, bring them back to the property, and we would all hang out with a couple of beers, and they would watch me struggle to see if I could get the damn engine to run. Half the time I just threw the car out. I just wanted to see if I could get the engine to run. This is long before YouTube and whatever, it's just for fun. Says, I watch YouTube on my Apple TV and comment on my Android tablet. My friend Ray and I are going to try and get his Cub Cadet Zero turn. Yes, especially if there's more than one person and you have a friend. Those are really fun because people feed off of one another and guys say dumb crap and that usually goes over. So totally do that. Noduk says, I got my snapper by helping my neighbor move into his new house. He had it in storage. It's in amazing condition. So far, the use of me and my van, he gave it. Okay, so see? So help this friend out, neighbor, whatever, use the van, whatever, and he gets this beautiful mower. That's nice, right? I use my phone. I use UCut for videos on YouTube. It's super easy to use. So UCut is an example. There you go. There's a nice package that somebody wants, uses, right? Nighthawk uses it. Other people use it. I've heard of quite a number of these things. There are a number of people that do everything on this, the entire thing. This is an old iPhone. I've tried using it. It's no good for videos. I tried even live. My first live was on this. It was atrocious. And you might say, well, that's no good. You're pissing people off. Yeah, it probably pissed off a lot of people when I did that. But who's paying me right here? I don't see a production company or whatever offer me all kind of money to get the best equipment. I'm broke. I had a phone. I tried it. Okay. You move on. Let's see. How about will it throw a rod videos? Yes, of course, right? And one guy said to me, he says, why don't you pour some like corn syrup or Coca-Cola into the engine while it's running? And I still kind of want to do something stupid like that. Set up an engine outside and try to see if I can get it to throw a rod or whatever. It's dangerous, right? You might want a blast shield, I mean, you have to be careful. You could get hit with this stuff, right? Respect the power of the engine. That's all I say. All right. Zippo says, he laughs. He goes, I've got a video of a V-twin with a blown rod and a big hole in the block that I started. Yeah, cool. Nighthawk says, me and my friend Joe used to rebuild mini bikes when we were like 6, and that was the start of my love. Same here. And interestingly enough, not only could I get the motors to run better, but I was the only kid around at that time that could hook up a throttle again, right, and fix a throttle, right? Because most of us were like this with the carburetor back here, and you're like driving around, you got one hand on the handlebar, and you're like this trying to, right? Because usually the thing that broke that nobody could fix was the damn throttle cable. Nobody cared about brakes. I remember this one kid, he had this mini bike and the carb was falling off and there was like a rag or something shoved into the gas tank and it was splashing all over and somehow he was still using it. Let's see. Nighthawk says, yeah, rear engine rider. Right. Okay. I gotcha. And how do you say your name, Bleach? Bleach Depeche. Oh God, I can't. I'm going to destroy that garage. Bleck DPC. It's like, that's a product called Bleck White. I used to call it Bleck White. It was bleach white, spelled just like the first part, right? Remember that? I used to call it Bleck White. Bleck white because that's kind of what it said. This is Ray is 70, still working on stuff. When he holds a fist, it looks like a brick. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. So what? Does it matter how old you are? Really, it doesn't matter. Nidox says, I have stacks of quantum brigs. Stack them to use the new decks. Yup, blow up. Yup. It's TKS bleach. Yeah. Bleached. Oh, bleached. Oh, bleached PC garage. Oh, okay. Duh. Remember, fellas, remember I told you that my friends, if Rob's still here, he'll tell you, right? They used to call me the idiot, not an idiot savant, right? Well, kind of, yeah, they used to call me idiot savant, right? Because I could be really smart 1 minute, and the next minute I'm like, "Dah." Let's go back to the pre-program viewing. Hold on.
Lift works. I have not checked the transmission yet, so that's the last thing we need to check. Don't need that anymore. Put that away in bed.
Yeah, bleached PC.
Thank Dave again for that awesome Zippo. 5 colors on it. So nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Anyway, back to this.
He's got an awesome collection of knives and lighters. Check out anybody that doesn't know out there, right? Whoever watches us in the future.
Battery off first and start it. I'll catch you guys in a second.
There it is. That's cool.
Close
Yeah, hold
captions
on.
on, folks.
Yeah, so Bleach, you can, if you like anime, right, incorporate it into your videos if you want as well. You can, anything that you like, just as a suggestion, anything that you think is cool, whatever period we grow up in or whatever, just if you can incorporate a little bit of it here and there, you'd be surprised. You can have some fun, right? Have some fun. It doesn't matter whether people like it or not. If you don't think of it that way, because if you just think of it as like, well, I'm having fun, and enjoy what you're shooting, and they can be somewhat conceptual in a way. Like you don't have to do the exact same thing that the next person does. If you just want to show off some cool equipment and do Will It Run, maybe throw a little anime in there as like a segue or something, or a piece of something, have some fun with it. It's people know when you're having fun, so they have fun. It's kind of how it works. Let's see. I used to put anime videos when I started on YouTube. Let's see here. So we're gonna check you out in the future, I believe. So I'm just gonna finish up. I want to kind of just show you guys some of Zippo's collection before I head out as well. But yeah, very cool. You know, adding elements of the stuff that you like, and you'd be surprised how many people. I know some young fellas that are into anime, and they're always making quotes on stuff, and I'm like, "What's that? What's that from?" They're like, "You don't know. You're old." I'm like, "Well, I am old. Okay. Well, you don't know anything about anime. You're old. How old are you? You're like old." I'm like, "Well, I used to hang out with like Noah and shit." Yeah, so what, right? Everybody's bald. Every guy. I knew guys that were like 25, and they were one friend of mine. He was gray by 25. It still is. He still has his hair. It's still great. And another friend of mine, he was bald by the time he was 25. That's what happens when, you know, it's like a punishment, right, for being a guy. You know, it sucks. You're gonna wind up with all kinds of problems. Believe me. Ask me how I know. Right. Let's see. Let me go back to. I want to find. All right, so let me see if I can find it.
I got the Raider hood for the wheel. Also got.
Yeah, here we go.
Because.
Here we go. Hold on.
The 18, or excuse me.
Let me back up a little bit.
Tires for this power steering Sovereign belongs to my buddy Michael. We've got a Trader sitting here. Decals are shot. 2210 sitting here. Needs the transmission. Over the winter, my neighbor Dave over here used this for pushing snow all winter long. It did great. This has the 14 horse Predator. That will be coming off because when I went to pick up this latest Sunstar, I also got, don't hate on me because of my voice, guys. It's not my fault.
Look at all these.
I got two.
Oh,
coils.
The decks.
And these are a weird little trigger coil. See that little nubbin right there? So I picked up
what
two.
is that?
I paid for one, but picked up two. Just how the guy rolls at his salvage yard. So hopefully one of these will work and get that engine running again.
Oh, nice.
Get this engine running again, it'll go back in the wheel horse Raider. Then the hood will go on. 14 horse. I almost had a little bit of a voice.
Yep, almost came back.
The Raider will then be complete.
You can see all those decks.
$20 for those coils. And the guy got them from, he knows how much they are new, you know, or refurbished, or even on eBay. They're well over $100. Very, very nice guy to work with. And I'll be working with him some more.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose I could talk like that and kind of get a voice box. Anyway, friendly neighborhood Zippo. I'm gonna clean some stuff up out here and get back in the house for some lunch. It's just after noon. Thanks for muddling through with me on this voiceless.
Look at all those. Aren't they beautiful?
Video. Hopefully,
he's got one with the loader on it.
Picks up enough of my voice that you can hear me. So now we're just gonna take a look at the 8 Sunstars we have here.
Oh my God.
Color Command 20. Does not charge. Does run. I don't remember. That's a Color Command 20.
I don't remember.
Does run. Has the rear Cat 0 hitch, as well as 3,400 RPM PTO. Step over here. This one, that has a 2,000 RPM PTO. Step over here. This one has the 3,400 RPM PTO and sleeve hitch for the simplicity tillers.
I wouldn't mind one of those. That sleeve hitch.
Those three. This one is in need of an engine. It has the hole in the block. Come over here. This is my mower, my daily. This is the one I picked up north of me. In fact, most of them have come from up north. This one came with a 48-inch deck, 18-horse Briggs from the factory. If you remember, the only thing that was wrong with it when I got it was the air filter was clogged up. So that takes care of the
wheel
back
weights,
four.
loader.
Excuse me, there's only 7 out here. I have another one over at Ron's. Then we've got my pretty early 20-horse with the Magnum 20 and the blade. I forgot.
Right, was that the one that you were using this year, Zip, with the blade that I saw?
So it has the front hydro ports.
Oh, that's nice.
The blade for it sitting right over there with the hydraulic cylinder. Cylinder's going to get moved over to this bigger blade. And we've got the zip loader in all its glory. It went with me to the pick yesterday. This is the only one I have that has actual lights on the back. All the rest are just reflectors. This one is just beautiful. It has had a snow cab on it, which is great because I have the snow cab for this. It's over at my buddy Ron's. Of course, the battery's bad, as it should be. It's 18 years old. But after a cleanup, this one is going to rival that one as far as how purty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so clean.
I might have a slight problem. An addiction.
Yep.
That's going to wrap it up.
And a little guy, too.
Thank you, all of you, for bearing with me with my happy voice.
A Zippo loader.
I promise you, I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, I got to check out this one, too. This other one. If I have some time tomorrow. All right, hold on. Let me make sure I pause this. Okay. Yeah, if I get some time tomorrow, I'm going to try to find... Let's see. Nope. Did I... Nope. It still ran anyway. Let's pause it. Yeah, that's some nice stuff. It's well, you collect over the years. I mean, if I think about all the cars and parts and things that I've had over the years, if I still had them. I mean, I sold my beautiful car, with the divorce and everything else. And but if I had kept, oh my God, I would need an airplane hangar to keep all the crap I used to collect. But the good Lord wants me to pare things down and try something different. And I started with lawnmowers and small engines and mini bikes like Nighthawk and most of us. That's what I started with when I was real young. And I remember I managed to get my hands on a 75cc Kawasaki little dirt bike. Basically an automatic transmission is what it had on it. It was an automatic clutch. So you just had to kick it through 3 gears. And one of my neighbors won it on a WABC raffle giveaway when we were like in the 70s, right? And they all would get drunk and they just beat the hell out of it. One guy broke his collarbone, and I think finally it kind of got taken away from them. They took it apart, and I remember when I got it, there were like pretzels inside the gear housing and everything. There's older fellows on the block, and I didn't really have any money, and he sold to me for $75. I didn't have the money, but I did cut lawns and do some odd jobs. I was very young. So he wound up becoming a longshoreman. He didn't need the money. It was just his principle. And I would show up every week. He promised me the bike, and I would show up every week with $5, $10, $20, whatever I had. And his grandma would take the money, and she would write it down on a little note paper that, I was contributing to paying for it. And when I got to $75, I got the machine and I fixed it. So then I was on my way up because I was above mini bikes and some of the cheesy go-karts, and I started to have something kind of really nice. I fixed it, used it for like a couple of years, had a blast with it, got too big for it, and sold it for $300. It was a mess, but it was a lot of fun. Let's see. Zippo says, yeah, the Wisconsin V4 on the Tecumseh videos where I got. Yeah, I got you. I'm going to have to check those out. The V4 still needs some love. Yeah. Now, one of the things I'd like to get into as well as at some point in the future is some of the smaller diesels. I never did have an opportunity to work on diesels. You know, I got to work on a lot of cool cars and some trucks and some lots of cool engines. You name the engine, I've had my hands in it. And I also got a chance to work on, you know, fighter aircraft and whatever, but I didn't get my power plant license. I just wound up with my general and my airframe license. So I got to work on some cool stuff, but where I am, in order to really work on diesels, you had to go and become a licensed diesel mechanic for the most part. And I was like, well, with all the different certifications and everything that I had, and I wound up getting into electronics and everything else as well, and I just never got that. And I kind of would still, before I kicked the bucket, is still like to play around with some diesel stuff. So if I were to take the channel in a direction, perhaps long into the future, I would like to go in that direction, for sure. Which is, I still have my snapper. Yeah, I think you still have that one that I was just showing with the handlebars, right? That's pretty cool. I'm trying to see if I can sell my snapper this year. I like him, but it's an older snapper, but I don't really need it. I like it the way it stores upright. It needs boots. I need to put boots on it, axle boots. I got it moving. It runs and drives. I think my daughter was driving it around, and I had her on the channel. And I don't need this on. And it goes good, but the thing I don't like about it is I don't like the transmission. I just don't like the design of it. It's a snowblower transmission. And there's so many points of failure and wear on, you know, my little green rider is actually better because it's got a quote, real lawn tractor transmission in the back end of it. And even that I'll probably sell, right? Because I don't really need it. Let's see. I've got a 10 horsepower diesel waiting on a cool project to present itself. Did I see that one yet? Did you put that one up? I don't know if I saw that one yet. But you got that one running. But that's kind of neat. You know, something like that, you know, where I can play around. Eventually, I'd like to get either a small tractor that's diesel powered, a couple cylinders or something, or I don't know. I need something that's a bit stronger to lift things with. And so I set up the forks on the front of the Simplicity, and that allows me to pick up the back end of tractors when, you know, a lot of these tractors I get, the trannies don't move or whatever, and people dump them off out in the street, and I got to drag them back. And it's easy to just drive the Simplicity, just lift it up from one side. I can even throw a chain on it, and I can drag it all the way in the back. I can shove it in here. But I do need something that can actually pick up either a forklift or something, maybe something with a bucket. I thought about maybe getting the bucket loader kind of thing, like you have, Zip, something like that, or putting some kind of something on the back of the Simplicity and having that hydraulic, I don't know, maybe even chain, or I don't know, something, electric, winch, manual. I don't know. I have to kind of keep my ears and my eyes out there and see what comes up. Yeah, I know. But, you know, you can run some of these crappier, like I mentioned earlier, that my buddy Mikey, he's got this beautiful, you know, diesel truck that he uses to haul his race cars to the track. And he runs it basically on used oil, motor oil. You know, so far he's been using it a lot, and he strains it and all. I mean, I would probably mix it with a little bit of regular diesel. But imagine something that you could, I don't know, run something, and you basically, with all these motors that I get, all this stuff that I get tons of oil. It would kind of be nice to be able to kind of cycle that oil into something that is useful here for myself, and I can just run it on oil, used oil, and kind of clean up the oil a little bit. This one fellow I watch, he actually borrowed, a friend had what is it? It spins the oil. It's like a cyclotron for oil. Kind of like spins the oil through these mesh filters, and it captures a lot of the metallic and, you know, the hard debris. The oil's still dark, but it doesn't have any debris in it that you would be concerned about. And then he filtered it again. He's a Kiwi, this guy. And I watch him. I forget his name off the top of my head, but I watch him a lot. And he does old tractors. Where he lives in two places in that area. And this one piece of property that he has is huge. And it's very much kind of like out of the way and off the grid. And his wife kind of gives him a bit of a hard time, but he buys all these old tractors, farm tractors and whatever, and he fixes them up, and he basically uses them. He has like a farm, you know. So, really, diesel simplicities would, wow. Where are those? I don't think I've seen it. I'm going to have to dig deep into your archives there, because you've been doing it for so long. So another thing I thought of too is, like, I have this old rototiller body. I've got a couple other things that I could maybe put a small 4 or 5 horsepower diesel on, and maybe pick up one of those Chinese diesels. They used to be about, I don't know, $1 and change, and kind of like rig it up, make up like a filter system, rig it up and see if it'll run. You know, will it run on used motor oil? Will it run on like a 50-50 mix or something? And maybe kind of noodle around with that, do an unboxing to sort of, run it up, and then we'll start pouring some used motor oil into it and see if it can handle it, and then I'll find an application for it and I'll use it. Maybe like on my rototiller, or maybe a snow blower. I don't know. I don't know if it'll spin fast enough. I think they spin like 3,000 RPMs, which would be about enough for a small snow blower. It might be fun to do that, right? This is something to do. Yeah, I'll have to look through your archives and see. But just for something different, I do like the diesel stuff. And, something maybe a little bit more stout that I can also use here, helping me out with, dealing with all these tractors that don't work. I've got tons of them in the back. I'm going to get started on those real soon, the next couple of weeks, as soon as I finish up some of the, early bird customer specials that I got to deal with. Let's see. Did I still have you up? Let me see. No, your links won't show up. How do you change that? Let's see. Community moderation. Let me see. Let's see if I can. I don't know what the defaults are, but upload defaults. Let's see. Permissions. Upload defaults. I don't know. Where is that set where I can change the link permission set? Let's see. I'm kind of like poking around here. This is channel, advanced settings, audience. I don't really know how to do that. This is more account related. Well, you would think that there would be like a thing that I can click. I think you need a moderator. Community moderation. Toggle monitor activity. Yeah, he's trying, but I don't think I have. I just toggled it. Participants, community moderation. I'm looking to see if there's something I can set. Yeah, what I'll do is block links. It's not checked. Let's see. Allow comments. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Ziba says, yeah, give me a blue wrench. The links will work. So give you a blue wrench. If memory serves, you can click the name and it's, oh! Okay, let's try that. You have a little thing here. Yeah, you have a little bar. Add as a moderator. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Now you're a standard moderator. Try it again and see. Give it a shot. I gotta go take a leak. I'll be right there. Give it a shot. Try to put a link up. If not, I'll elevate your privilege. Let me see if it worked. Hold on. Oh, yep, it worked. Nice. All right, let me close this out. Let me click on one of them. Let me see. Good, so now I know. Thanks, Ed. All right, let me close this stuff out before I touch something that I don't want to touch. Well, let's see. Let's check out. There we go. All right, so this one should do it. Yeah, here we go. That's that one. That's the home page. Yeah, he should have it. Good. I'm glad that. So now I know how to do it. Thanks. Definitely. This way it's easier to share, and I can add people, you know, a little bit at a time without having just a global setting. So that's nice. Yeah, he's probably trying to open it up. And he might have navigated away from the live show. Yeah, this is the one I want to check out. 10 days ago, you released this one. This one's pretty cool. Let's take a quick look at this one. Yeah, it's got it. Rang the bell. All right, hold on. Let's see. Let's move you over to here. I want to just check this one out real quick. We'll skim through this one.
We're going to get into this 700 and see what we can do about getting it running, doing what it's supposed to do. And I've already rebuilt the carburetor for it, which is sitting right here. You'll notice the carburetor's still on that one. I'll just use that one as a core for future needs.
All right, just subscribed.
It just needs a little bit of loving here and there.
To bleach.
As soon as we're sure that the battery's charged, we'll crank it over, check for spark, check our compression. You know, just do the basics on something that's been sitting for a long time.
Okay, that should be bleached. This length.
Everything is lubricated really well within the engine.
And here's Nighthawk.
We'll pop the spark plug out. After we do the quick compression test, we'll lubricate the upper end as best we can. And with the spark plug out, the engine should spin over pretty
I want to see the diesel.
It'll help disperse some of the oil
into
the lower end before we...
Oh, that came up. That link came up as your main homepage, Zip. It seems to be, for me, it's coming up as your homepage.
We actually attempt to start.
I'll check it again.
So this is a 700. Yeah. This is one that has been discussed between the owner and myself for a number of years, and was finally able to get in touch with him, get hooked up, and get it loaded up and over here for me to work on. So he should be pretty tickled to see it in the shop and on the chopping block, so to speak.
Wow, it looks a lot like the Sears.
I guess best thing to do is for me to just start getting into it, and I'll pull you guys along with me. Hang on. All right, just a few minutes have gone by.
Oh, carburetor, yeah.
Carburetor mounted, and it's just got standard settings on it right now. I ran the engine over a number of times to get the oil to splash, and this is an early one because later on there was a plate that you could take off in order to change or clean the points.
Oh, really?
So just kind of neat seeing one of these.
Let me see.
You guys might remember my old Squire was the same way. Did not have that block off plate on it. I think I've got one hanging up here that has the, yeah.
Hold on, it's coming up. Search diesel on your home page.
See that spot?
I'm on your home page.
That's where the block off plate, a piece of metal would go there. You could just unbolt it in order to service the points.
No, that doesn't work.
700 with the short steering column does not.
That's not taking me where I want to go.
After I get it running, we're also going to.
Am I not in the right spot?
Muffler off and doing them up.
I'm on your home.
A little nicer than what's going on there.
If I click on videos.
Something else I did.
I try that.
The throttle cable was not attached.
No, it does it just does a full search. I must not be in the right spot.
Just needed a little bit of work, so I popped that off. Put a Z-bend in it and got that mounted. So
why am I not
we've got
getting it?
Throttle action there. Right now I'm getting ready to take the battery out because our push
on your home
starter switch is not making contact. So when that happens, they're pretty much just done. So I'm going to take this one off, replace it with another one that is good so that we can push the button and have the engine.
Yeah, let me show you.
Right now.
So I'm here. I clicked on your home. If I do diesel, if I put diesel in, I get diesel sounds, whatever. And if I try to search it, it's just like searching the web, right? So either I'm not doing something right, or it's late and I can't see crap. Okay, let's go to 1544.
I mean, it's just dreamy. Yeah. This is how we advance.
Oh, that's a big tap, huh?
As far as I'm concerned, that's good enough.
I have one of those laying around.
It's a big boy. Instead of it just cracking it.
All purty.
In two spots, and then this bottom. These doors. Hang on.
Something's running.
Like I said, it had the wrong idler pulley for it's supposed to, so.
Wow, look at all that. That's a cool transmission.
All the fluids checked. Oil.
Nice. Go back to what?
I had to work the ignition key a bit. It wasn't grounding, wasn't shutting things off, but overall it's in pretty good shape. Something else that was missing was the nut that holds this pulley in place. That nut right there, so I replaced that.
That belt is cracked.
And you can see the blood there. Smashed the living heck out of
Ah.
it and split. Just out.
Ah.
But anyway, such as
it's just it's a horror. I've been wearing gloves a lot just because I'm so sick of pain and damage to my body. And I mentioned to you to wear gloves more often because you also have some of those issues with your hands. And I keep like 3-4 different types of gloves around. In fact, I got to get some fresh ones as well. I want some of the, because I like to use acids, and I use the Super Clean, which is a heavy base. And I can deal with some of it on my hands, but what'll happen is, as you know, right, if you get your hands wet or if you get too many of those chemicals on them, and then you go to do something, your hands are raw now. And if you get hit or grab something, you're going to get your hands all messed up. So go back to my home page, click all right, let me see. I saved that. I got a lot of stuff open. All right, so I can close this out. Let me close out a few things. Close that out. We don't need that. Jeez, I got a lot of stuff that's open. All right, here we go. So he wants me. So you say, all right, go back to my home page, click videos. All right, got videos. Then there's an arrow to the far right on the same line as the video tab. Yep. Click that till scroll all the way to the right. You should see the search. I just see Channelytics. Do you see it? I'm not seeing it. About. Why am I not seeing it? It comes down to it's Channelytics. Is it because I'm using a different browser or something? Oh, there's the search. That's it. Okay, so let's see. It's the, it's this thing. It's the, I got it. It's the hourglass. I'm getting tired. That's why. All right, so we'll search for. Here we go. Oh boy. Hold on. Let's check this one out. Here's the 84 Deutz. Yeah. Let's just check this one out real quick.
Alice, Diesel.
See, I was already watching it. All right. See, look, see where it is? It popped up.
Really neat. I like it.
All right.
So
I was watching it not that long ago. I forgot about this.
Everything.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember it.
Picked up Deutz. Oh.
It's doggy.
Boy, you want to look?
Look. What is that?
Aw.
Good boy. You stay. Well, you guys can hear it running.
Yeah, I'm going. So let's see.
Deutz
Where am I?
Alice.
Where's my cursor?
920. That old speed the engine up a little.
Here
bit.
it is.
But I think I'm just going to kill it so I can talk and not have to yell. So bear with me here a minute. Go
Yep.
ahead and ramp it up, then I'll kill it.
Wow, she vibrates. You still have that one, Zip? Bleach says he's got one. Was the switch doesn't work, I guess?
There she blows. Picked this up yesterday. It goes with the Danco snow cab. I'll go ahead and show you guys that snow cab here real quick.
Let's
I don't
see.
remember if I posted a video of that or not. I think I did.
Let's see. Come back. And this is Zippo. Let's see. For the rat rod. Here's the Wisconsin. Nice mug. Nice mug. Don't you hate that one? It just happens to grab. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of nice ones here. Yeah, I'm going to have to scroll through this. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. Really snap-on rep. This is the one that you, I think I saw some of this. I don't know if I did.
All right, gang.
I may not have.
I made it to the boneyard.
This was kind of neat.
The engine is free.
Look at the crank start. That's crank start.
Just a second here. Let me prop you guys up. I'll show you.
Yes, the decompression valve. You're right.
I don't want to turn it too much because I've got the screws.
Let's see the rat rod video. That was down. Where was that? Yeah, here we go.
All right, gang, as I mentioned on the last video, I've got a surprise.
Did I pass the diesel video? Which one?
No.
This is it the rat rod one?
Trader.
We're in, I think, a bit of a lag, so.
Perhaps this will shed a little bit of light on it. Are you ready? Are you as excited as I am? The excitement's worn off for me. That's going to look stupid.
That's pretty cool.
What is that, guys? Can you tell? Can you tell what it is? Put what you think it is down in the comments below.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll wait on you. Go ahead. Are you done? Boy,
No.
hunting and pecking for those keys. Just one word. That's all you need to put on there. What do you think it is? Huh? I'm sure a lot of you.
You got it, Bleach. We're going to check you out again.
That is an engine. It is a 418 cc engine. Well,
That's big.
You've got a huge 18 horsepower engine in Trader. Why are you going with just a 418 cc? There's a very good reason for it, and I'm going to show that to you right now. You ready? Let's see what we have here. I'm ready. Are you ready?
There goes the valve. Sounds good.
Yeah, that is an 11 horsepower diesel. That's going to be going in Trader.
That's nice.
Doesn't every tow truck nowadays have a diesel in it. Seemed appropriate to me. Picked this up off a buddy of mine, and I worked out a trade is what I did. He was wanting for something that I had, and I thought long and hard about it, and we came to an agreement.
That's nice.
And the agreement, I'll shut that fuel off. The agreement was well, the Gravely's gone. Let's just put it that way.
Ah.
The diesel plus a little folding paper from my pocket, and the Gravely is gone.
Yeah, but you got a good motor out of the deal. That's nice. That is nice. Yeah, the little bleach, some of those little guys, they fart a little bit. I've noticed that. You're gonna get that on some of these. You can tune some of that out if you want to spend some time. But it could also be the muffler you have on it too, because a muffler has a lot to do with how an engine sounds. You know, a lot. Yeah, plans change, don't they? They always do. Whenever you're fooling around with something, it's like you get to a point where, oh boy, this just took another direction. I never thought that. You know, when I first built my Nova, I had a lot of Novas and Mustangs, but the Nova I just recently sold, the first iteration of it was a very simple combination. It was a 69 Nova. I took the front end out off of it, and I put a late model F-body style front end in it, because it had better brakes, and, better steering and all that, better geometry. And I put a Pontiac engine in it that I took out of another car, a Grand Prix, that had very low miles, a Turbo 400, and a Ford rear. And I put that all together, and I painted it and made it nice, and it cost me like $3,000. That's it. If that. Okay. And then I started racing and doing stuff, and I wound up spending like $10,000 on just the motor. And it escalated, and it became something else. And there were times when I really was happy with what I was doing, and there were times when I said to myself, you should have just built a different car for all this money, and just kept the original concept that you had, a low buck car built from different things, Ford and whatever. And I pulled off a very inexpensive, beautiful car, and should have just left it the way it was, maybe changed the tires, because the original tires that I put on there were too low profile. And that's it. And just maintained it. And it just kind of like, things just get squirrely sometimes. But I always had a lot of fun with it. But, some of these machines, the thing is that these are smaller and they're less expensive, and then you wind up changing things because you can. It happens quicker, which is why I went back to all of this and got away from the cars. Now cars are way too expensive because they don't want you to have them. And if you do have them, it's financially crippling, which is what they want. And guys that are selling old cars, they're selling them for a fortune, even the crappy ones. I see like a 73 Nova with the 5-mile-an-hour impact bumpers that I hated, with 4 doors, that's completely beat up for $5,000-6,000. Like, you can't do anything with it. It's rotted to crap, right? And where I live is the inventory is gone. And to make matters worse, who was it, Obama? Which one of those where they had when you traded in your old crappy cars, and they did that whole thing, cash for clunkers? So many nice cars disappeared, even like 80s trucks and cars. A lot of those disappeared, which is really sad, because that's the feeder stock for the next sort of generation. That generation had a lot of harder time finding some cool stuff. This generation doesn't even know what they are, right? They're looking at rice burners, as we used to say. So he said, Dibbo said, Bletch said, hot dog muffler. Yeah, those can sound okay on some small engines, but they get kind of farty, He says, I had that tiny 32 Gravely zero turn. Yeah. Car salt life. Yeah, and here in New York, you get a lot of that, depending upon the winter. Now, this year, we didn't have any winter, so cars didn't get a salt bath or sand blasting. But that's not usually the case, and that'll change, because we get 2-3 feet here and there with drifts, on a foot of snow, 9 inches on a regular basis will drop 6 to 9 inches for a small snowstorm. We get the northeasters, we get, all kinds of stuff that comes up this way, hurricanes and everything else too. So, actually there was a big earthquake up Westchester County recently, which is, it's like, what? That was like the other day, last week. I don't know what the hell's going on. He said, I'm in a small town in New York close to Syracuse. Yeah, you're way up there, so you get a lot of snow. See, I died this year from no snow. There was no work, so I'm like really far behind now because nobody, with the change in the economy, everything else going up, right, and the dollar falling to crap, people on Long Island, like we live in an expensive area. Even if you're poor, you're even poorer now. Even if you have a bit of money, you have way less money now. And New Yorkers are weird because the winters are short here. They're long in terms of duration of the cold, goes for a fairly long period of time. But the actual winter part, the really sub-zero freezing over and lakes and things freeze, that only happens for about a month. And we'll get some early snow, which we did, and I sold a couple of machines. And then the economy got even worse. People are worried about their money. It's kind of new because it's happening quick. And then it stayed fairly nice, and we didn't get any more snow. So people that were thinking that maybe I'll buy a snowblower, they just didn't buy them. Some of the people that were thinking, well, maybe I'll have mine fixed, they just said, nope, I'll deal with it next year. So I got from January through February and March, there was nothing. There was just nothing. And it's painful because you just fall so far behind. Let's see, Bleach says, we did not get much snow. I know, you didn't get much either. It's not really climate change. It's the sun that does it. It's not really, they keep pushing climate change, but that's all crap. It's really just to push their whole new agenda, right? Climate always changes. It always does. It always did. And it always will. We can go back in time not that long ago, and we have very dry times, very hot times, very wet, very snowy, right? No snow. It always does. And there's tons of scientists out there, including one fellow that I know, he's an old timer. He's actually worked with NASA, and he tries to rail against it, but they won't let these people speak. Kind of the same thing they did with this, right? They just won't let anybody speak. They won't let the doctors and the scientists speak. They just push one narrative to push this whole new thing that they got with batteries and electric cars, which is going to fail, and they want it to. They don't want you to have a car. They don't even want you to have an electric car. They definitely don't want you to have a gasoline car. That's why that's $60,000. Best car you can get if you want good gas mileage is get like a hybrid, because then you get the best of both worlds. I've driven a couple of them. The one that I drove recently, sometime last year, I think it was like last summer. My daughter rented one, and it was a nice car, right? They're expensive, but they're not ridiculous. Well, they are ridiculous because that's like what I put down on my house. But some of these things, as I say, they're financially crippling. Geez, when I was a kid, we used to pay like $50, $100 for a car. You can't even get a piece of crap car really the same way, because those got really expensive because of the shortages, and that was planned. So it drove the price of used cars up way high. Yep, of course you did, because you got it from this. It's inside of it. It's making the spike protein, and of course that's the thing that's the toxin and gets you sick. And so they force your genetics to produce it, and it's going to make you sick. And there were plenty of people that were talking about it, but they just were not allowed to be heard. You had to find other ways of hearing it. It's very sad. And that was to make this, lots of this, right? And it has no efficacy. So all of this stuff that's just been coming out is lies on top of lies on top of lies. And I do some live shows on that where I run some stuff, and I have a few. It's really sad. Yeah, I got to get out of here too. Zippo's going. Thanks for stopping in, brother. And he says he was up early, fished trimmed off 8 hours, and is wiped out. Yep, same here. But thanks for stopping in, Zip. I'm getting ready to go myself. But I had fun tonight, and it was fun doing the whole Saturday Sunstar event. Right, that was a lot of fun. I like these machines. They're really good if you can find one. I mean, it's not the only machine out there, but it is a bit odd those old green ones, the Deutz Alice, they were originally the ones that brought the machine over here, and Simplicity pretty much got it from them and made a few tweaks to it, and I guess finished out the whole build. And what you see in mine is just something of a newer variant of a Deutz Alice, really, whatever the hell they were, right? German design. It has a lot of the European look, German look to it, right? It's kind of boxy and square, and but it's well designed. It's got some really neat features on it. The front axle is not a straight axle. It not only does this, but it's got articulating knuckles on the end, so they do this as well. And it keeps the machine down real tight to the lawn, and it's just drives really well over uneven ground. It's just like I say, they made a really cool machine. It's not they're the only ones, but they were like, wow. When I saw that and I was looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know that existed, because I've never seen one here. So I never actually had one in my hands, or under my ass. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys later. I'm heading out of here too. Let me do my outro. Let's see. Can I do it? How do I do it? Where is it? I always forget. I can't even find it. I can't even see straight. Yeah, they catch fire. See you later, Rob. Let's see, can I stand by?